We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's installment of Bardic Inspiration, Dungeons & Dragons in Shakespearean Style. I'm your DM, Adam, and these are, with me, the Headless Marys. I'll introduce them really quickly. In order, we've got Elizabeth, and then Brenna. Let's do that. And then Pedro.
Me.
And Ryan.
That's me.
And John Mark.
I'm John Mark.
And Mel.
I'm John Mark.
Right. And we're the Wiggles. We are members of the group called Soothplayers, who do a show called Completely Improvised Shakespeare in Melbourne, and we are under lockdown right now. This is lockdown number 5. Solidarity to any other Melburnians or other Australians who are locked down, or if you're elsewhere in the world and you are staying at home for plague reasons, solidarity. Thank you for joining us and escaping all of that for a bit of a moment. Tonight, the Headless Marys are in for the end of a long journey that they have been on for some time. Now, I'm going to prelude that for a little bit, and then just like we've been doing lately, I'm going to have our cast recap the last session as quickly as they can in 2 minutes. But just to lay the broader scene, the Headless Marys have been traveling through the nation of Eston, down the mighty Lewin River, in their fey-enchanted ship, the Headless Mary. And they have been attempting to rescue a golden baby dragonling named Alda from the Four Winds, a group of assassins bent on Alda's capture and perhaps murder. We have been going down the Lewin River for quite some time now, and last session, the Headless Marys made it to the sea, their destination of Halefort. So now I think it's time for me to turn it over to all of you. Who's going to be on timer duty? Anybody got their phone ready that they could do that? Thank you very much, Mel. Mel's going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and y'all are going to recap what happened last week on our session entitled "Do We Ship This?" Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
It was so much fun. You should have been there. We had so many great things that we did.
Okay, so we got off the boat. And we met a man named...
That's huge. We haven't done that in a long time.
And appropriately, we met a man named Bertram. Who's one of Adrian's friends.
Bertram.
So half of us decided to stay on the boat with Alda, but we also, before we even got there, we did see the boat that had been chasing us for the entire time we've been on this river. We did see it in the distance, and then we managed to change the ship's appearance using the chaos magic that the Headless Mary doth have within it, and managed to change our entire appearance, and they just passed right on by us, which was
right on by.
And we renamed it the Headless Dairy.
Yeah, we're incognito as the Headless Dairy. Also, Avery proposed to Rav.
I can't believe this is only coming up now.
Rav, classically caught in a love triangle with Quadrig. Well, yeah, it's a love quadrangle. I don't know shapes. Anyways,
it's a polygon.
He let Avery down gently, but she seemed to take it not so kindly.
Yeah, she swallowed the ring. And then threw it up on Barwin?
Yes, because Alda got back at Barwin for presumably doing a prank without Alda's assistance, which was not true, but Alda did something that made Barwin's legs and back burst in an itchy rash. Yeah. And then she was covered in vomit from Pudrick and Avery. So she's...
Yeah, gross. We didn't get to the place. We talked to a guy named Bertram who Avery knows quite well. Ravelor makes a really great first impression.
Ding, ding,
that's
ding.
time.
I forgot we were timed.
That was, you managed to get a lot in that 2 minutes. Well done. Well done. I was a bit worried there after the first 10, 15, 20 seconds, but yes, you, no reason in particular, you met Bertram, who you called Botram, and whose mother Rav insulted, and then rolled something like a 29 persuasion check to barely hang on to basic decency after that, I suppose. We left off in the Lookout Below, which is a secret tavern beneath the Lookout in the eastern walls, next to the eastern walls of Halefort. an oceanside sort of military city. Well, it's a normal city, but has a major military presence right where the mouth of the major Lewin River meets the ocean. So, where we left off, Bertram had told you that it seemed that Veila, whom you have been bringing Alda to this whole time, someone that Avery has been working with in the past, that Veila's family has been murdered. And now all of you know very little about Veila other than Avery. So there was some confusion about the stakes here and what that meant, but Bertram was extremely upset and said that you needed to find Veila ASAP because he had not heard from her in 2 days since delivering this news that her father and 2 elder sisters had been killed, and he was very worried about her. So you were now leaving the lookout below and beginning to make your way back to the docks so that you could go to the hidden cave where Veila, presumably, is spending her time. Now, leaving the lookout below, the side street that you took to enter this back entrance is deserted. And Bertram closes and locks the several doors behind you on the way out, muttering a few things to the goblin woman that allowed you to come in before locking up. You can begin to make your way through the city streets, and Avery and Bertram both know these very well. Bertram is encouraging you to take the similar route that you took to get here, which is kind of an out-of-the-way along the walls route, and is moving with a purpose. So while I believe it is 4 of you are going towards the docks, is there anything that those of you who are doing that traveling would like to do or say or accomplish in that time? Or are you just looking at?
Yeah, I think Rav is gonna kind of try and mutter to Yori about how much he hates Bertram.
Yori is determinedly keeping her eyes forward and just not engaging. Yori, you'll recall, had a very awkward moment where she was like, maybe I could just take half day for sightseeing, and Bertram got quite upset with that alongside everything else.
Rav tries to engage her on that front. He's like, indeed, a true codpiece, is he not? Who hath not the time for sightseeing?
Yori just gets a bit flustered and is like, Ravelnor, enough. And then she drops further back in the group and is just head down, disregarding you walking forward. Bertram is constantly looking up to the rooftops and then looking down alleyways as you're moving forward. Those of you who were back on the boat, I believe that was Caliban, Podrick, and Barwin, yeah? Okay. How would the 3 of you spend your time aboard the Headless Mary while this encounter was going on that we saw last week?
Can I see the other ship, the Spaniel?
Yes, you can see it where it was pointed out to Avery when you first came. If you'd like, you can make a perception check, and I'll tell you what else you pick up. Look around.
Just a second.
The journey. Okay, 22, pretty good. That's our first roll of the night. Time to thank Matt Day, our technomancer extraordinaire, who designed rollcasts, so we can have those virtual dice. With a 22, Caliban, you're able to keep a pretty weather eye out on the docks, and the docks are relatively busy. This is quite a thriving port city. It is smaller than Orst, where you spent your time before beginning your journey here. However, there is a very large presence of military vessels nearby. So there's 2 sets of major docks. You're on one of them on the kind of eastern side of this bay that Halefort is situated in. On the other side of that bay, on the other side of the Lewin River, there are a number of clearly designated military docks and lots of ships bearing the regalia of a number of different thanedoms, but especially the Dawnvales. As well as the Aberforths. There's a handful of those around, and soldiers and sailors moving in and out of those areas. On this other side, which is more civilian focused, you do spot the Spaniel with its characteristic smokestack. It stands out. And in fact, there is a small crowd of people who work on the docks or are traveling nearby who seem to have congregated at a kind of respectful distance and are pointing at the ship and muttering things to each other.
Can I see their lips? Because I can read lips.
That's right. And with the 22, even though it's pretty far away, so you won't get a lot of very detailed conversations because of the motion.
Mhm.
However, you will see snatches of phrasing and words like "very strange that," "ne'er seen aught like," "smoke, I think," "runs on fire," like bits and bobs like that. Mostly people just very confused talking to each other. And you can catch bits of sort of sailor bluster and bravado as well, or like, "Oh, the Capricorn can outrun that shore," or "'tis nothing but like stage tricks that." You also see that the deck of the Spaniel itself has a few creatures walking about on it, some of which it's hard to say because of how far you've been from the ship most of the time, but people dressed similarly and moving similarly to the folks who you and Avery were firing shots with your bows at the last time you had an encounter with the ship. And they seem to be doing maintenance things, tying off ropes, moving crates, and loading up some other supplies onto the ship. And there's someone else of a similar description speaking with the harbor master and coordinating some things. At the moment, you cannot make out Tristan, who was the man at the helm that you marked last week, or the mage who cast the fireball at your ship. Neither of them are currently visible.
Mm-hmm. So how many are on the top though?
2 at this point, as well as 1 off the ship talking with the harbor master.
Mm-hmm.
You reckon we can take him? Is that what you're thinking, Colin?
No, I was thinking I could possibly go in closer for some reconnaissance though, because I do have like invisibility as a spell. I can also walk on water.
Ooh.
Kelben, Barwin.
Aye, Patrick?
I want not to just sit here and idle while the rest of the group go off on adventurous escapades. Shall we not? While their ship is sitting there, mayhap we should sabotage it?
If it was left empty, I would say yeah.
I see what thou mean, that there are people on board. But perchance, the only place they have not eyes be under the ship.
But they are on the ship, Patrick. So that's where their eyes also are.
So if we were to go under the ship, where they have no eyes, and maybe take out one screw at a time, then we could flood their ship. Ready? I'm going to book once.
I literally cannot swim. Like with my ring on, at least.
And I also am not truly adept at swimming. Are you, Patrick? Can thou hold thy breath long enough?
Nay, I hate water. But I could make the potion to have the not require breath for 24 hours.
Oh. Do you have one?
Nay, it would take me a while to make.
Okay.
Or perhaps thou shouldst make it, and if in that time we think of an appropriate plan, we shall be ready.
Wait. I have thought on it. I will. I will proceed in making such potion, but cannot Aldous be...
Methinks that a terrible idea, Patrick. I'm so sorry, but we have been escaping from these shipmen for such a long time. As they are chasing Alda, I think it's not the best plan to send Alda by herself to the ship.
And
Where are the three of
also,
you? Where are the 3 of you having this conversation on the ship?
On the other ship, Adam. We're on the other ship.
I'm asking because I want to know if Alda is nearby.
On the deck. I think we're on the deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then.
But I was just going to say, we should be also wary that there is, the military presence is significant on the other side of the river here. So mayhap we just keep an eager eye, and if anything eventuates, and if there's an opening that we would like to exploit, then we can exploit it. But I mean, the whole reason we stayed behind really was just to
Watch
make sure that Alda is safe. So
Aye.
what's the time?
I shall start potion making then.
All right.
Very well.
Good deal. So in that case, the three or four of you, including Alda, I think, can spend your time doing basic maintenance type things across the ship. If you wanted to take a step onto the docks and stretch your legs, you would have time to do that as well. And Alda will remain determinedly below decks. Okay. In that case, Podrigo, did you say you were crafting a potion?
Yeah, I'm gonna craft a potion.
Okay, you can begin to do so. If you want to make sure that if it has a duration time for crafting, that it's a pretty short one. Otherwise, you will be most likely interrupted, since our crew had a bit of a conversation and then is trekking there and back. They'll be back very shortly.
Oh, really?
Relatively shortly. Like, it was a pretty good. Like, the whole time will probably be an hour and change, maybe a little bit,
Well,
maybe
wait a
2 hours
minute.
total.
But Podrick doesn't know that. I think he should set up a super long potion.
Okay. Yeah, you can do what you like. I'm just letting you know. If it's like a 4-hour process, it might get interrupted partway through.
With potions though, I assume that there are times in between where you leave them to stew, or you leave them to, like, simmer for 12 hours.
And then you just put it in the microwave when you get back.
Or like
You
a
know,
soda.
I would say if it's not like a crazy complicated potion that's extremely high value stuff, then yeah, we can probably say if you need to let it simmer for a little bit, that you can, as long as you don't leave it too long.
It's a 12-hour potion, Adam.
I see. You've got it. You've got it in the slow cooker.
Yeah.
Get an Instant Pot. Come on.
Sure. What is this roll?
Wait, don't I have a thing, proficiency in...
Oh, yeah, you do. Is that your potion crafting roll? 11, so add your wisdom and proficiency.
John's the boy who cried roll.
I've just assumed it's John Mark rolling for initiative every time.
Is it
Yep,
add
so-
wisdom and proficiency? Oh,
Yeah.
This is brilliant. So that's +6. And
So it's a 17.
So it's 17, and I only needed 15 to make it.
Beautiful. This is a nice recovery after your last efforts.
All right, mate, that's not... The audience doesn't know this.
Sure. Let's live in the now. Is this a potion of water breathing you're making?
This is a potion of long breath.
Ah, nice. Way of the long breath. Okay. Then in that case, those of you who were with Bertram will soon be making your way back to the docks.
Can I say that I've picked up, I don't know, a bundle of grapes from a passing market stall?
Cool. And that took like a good 10 hours.
You can have varied off course a little bit to go grab some fruit. You actually could probably do it closest to the end when you're at the docks, because at the docks there are more market stalls and stuff like that around. So Buckle, you could branch off and buy some grapes if you like. You're near the ocean. There's actually a ready supply of warm weather fruits and stuff like that. It's good selection. All right. When you get to the docks, those of you who came along, Rav, you would most likely be the first to notice, for two reasons, that Yori is no longer with you. For one, you've got the highest passive perception, and I should correct myself there. The other person who would no doubt notice is Avery, because around about the time you make it to the docks, Avery, you will discover that there is something in your pocket that was not there before. It is a folded up several sheet of parchment.
Big letter writer, Yori.
Which I will put in our group thread there now, and I will also put into the live stream chat.
No. This better not be what I think it is.
The letter says, "Dear Avery, I do so wish we had become better acquainted, but alas, it was not to be. I hold thee in the highest esteem, and beg that you do not let your heart dwell long on Ravelor, for we both deserve much better. Tell Buckle, I am sorry I did not say farewell in person, but I feared I would lose my nerve. The Forest of Argen changed us in different ways. I must seek answers for the alterations it has wrought in me. Do not look for me, for this is a journey I must make alone. Be well, and marry always, Yori.
And marry always, Avery. Marry
Spelled with an E. You can...
So Rav's realizing at the same time I'm realizing that Yori's gone.
Rav would see that Yori's not there. You would realize you have this letter in your pocket.
Yori? Yori? How did I lose her? I shall go in search of her. Avery, I'm off to find Yori.
Rav, stop. She's gone. He doesn't want anyone to look for her. You've chased her away.
What?
He told me what's in her letter.
Wait. She told thee that she did intend to flee on account of me? Well, I must find her and set things right. And Rav sprints off.
No, stop.
Rav, make a perception check.
I'd love it if you rolled so high that Yori appeared.
Just running.
Yeah.
I intended to say this earlier, but I didn't. But I meant to say I'm sticking right by Yori's side.
Oh, I was so surprised when you didn't say anything.
Right, I thought it was implied. Right, it was my roll.
Hey.
20. Okay, Rav, you are moving with a panic and a panic-driven focus around this dockside market, looking everywhere. You clock every halfling that you come across, and there are quite a few, but none of them are Yori. You look up and down the various aisles of carts and stalls. You can look up the closest streets and even go around a couple of corners. You see nothing. There's no sign of Yori there. And no one who even looks like her, to be honest. You're quite confident that she is nowhere nearby.
Rav stops some locals and he asks them, "Hast thou seen a small, she looks like a child, but she's mean like an old man, but she's blonde and her name's Yori."
What art thou on about? No, I've not seen anyone like you're describing.
Well, didst thou see any small childlike creatures who did accidentally have magic but were in denial of it?
Well, there's my boy Danny, but he has no magic other than the foul magic of all children, of course, which is...
I shall be the judge of that. Where is this Danny? Bring him forth.
Well, he's right over there working our stall. There, Danny, wave at the stranger. And you see this kid who looks like 9, who's like...
Rav runs over and shakes him lightly. Yori! Yori!
I'm a what?
Art thou Yori Swift Whistle? Lie not to me, Yori, for we have unfinished business.
Danny.
Peace blossom.
Danny.
Rav lifts him in the air. Danny, what hast thou done with Yori?
And just then, Danny's dad, who you were just talking to, comes up and is like, "Well, what's the meaning of this then? You put my boy down. What, you strange lad." I bet I know what this role is.
Yeah, roll for initiative.
No. And he sort of puts a hand on your hand and presses Danny back to the ground and gets in between the two of you. What? Get away from my boy then. I'll be with you.
So he's standing close to me.
Yeah.
With his hand on my hand.
Sure.
Rav breaks down and cries and embraces him.
Well,
Yori!
Whoa. What is thou? Thou art surely the strangest man I have e'er met.
Yori, she's gone!
Avery's gonna come up behind Ravelor and say, Ravelor, I am sorry. Yori didn't say she left because she had to get away from you. She said she had to leave because she had to find herself, and she didn't want to say goodbye in person, feared that she would lose her nerve. She doesn't want us to go looking for her. She wants to be left alone. It's just you and me now.
Nay, Avery. By the way, Rav is saying this like into the neck of
Yeah,
this
he's
man.
just still like.
Nay, Avery. Lie not to me to spare mine feelings, for I can take it. And then he just like snorts sobs.
Mayhap you can take it elsewhere.
Burn.
That's so good.
If you please.
Oh, indeed. Sorry, sir, I meant not to drag ye into this. Hast thou a love?
I have a child. That's enough for me.
What does Danny's father sell?
It's a stall filled with various fishing supplies. So there's like lines and tackle and hooks and rods and some netting. And Danny was like trying to catch the eye of customers and stuff like that, but now it's just like staring at the whole Rav and Dad situation going on in front of him.
Buckle
Rav
walks
and
up
Dad.
with the fishing rod that he wants to buy. And he's like, how much for this? Fair lad?
It is two silver.
I presume I have that. I give it to him.
Yeah. Oh, thank you ever so much. Would you like some line and lures? Can throw them in free of charge for the fine soldier.
Oh, then yes, please. That would
Here
be
you are.
lovely.
And then he hands you like this neatly wrapped little bundle with extra
Aw.
line wrapped around a couple of lures and hooks. He's like, comes special with the set.
Thank you, young man.
Rav turns to Avery. Does Buckle not know? Or is this his coping mechanism?
I think it's possible that Buckle hasn't realized because he is too excited by the market stalls. Perhaps we should tell him gently.
Buckle, Yori's dead. Or might as well be, for we shall ne'er see her again. For I have scared her off like I hath so many. A worthy soul, 'tis my fault. Spear not the fish's lip with this here tool. Spear me, for I am less deserving of life than this fish.
Ravelor, Yori is the kind of person who requires time to be by her lonesome from time to time. She did go on many jaunts when we served together in Argen. This is her way of processing the changes that come with life. And this is another one of them. Grape?
Thou art in denial, I see, and I shall not shake thee from this reverie, for it does suit thee, and I know how thou art unwont to feel things and discuss emotions.
And then I walk away.
Brad puts out his hand. Come, Danny, to the ship.
Father, may I? Absolutely not. You may not. Well, you're here till lunch at least, and that's quite enough. Thank you for your purchase, and thank you for departing. To Rav. Reaper guide your harvests. May your nets be full, your lines always jerking, etc., etc. Farewell. On the ship, the rest of you who are there behind can see Rav, Avery, and Buckle, and no Yori, approaching the area where the Headless Dairy is docked in its newly disguised form. You are now once more all together aboard your ship, and Bertram is with you as well. Those of you on deck will not have met Bertram yet. He has been sort of observing all this taking place in the marketplace.
You guys are in for a treat, let me tell you. Love
Did you bring
Bertram.
back treats?
The opposite.
No?
Brought back
Oh, well,
Bertram.
yes. Would thou like a grape, Caliban?
I would love a grape.
I try to, yeah. I just hold one in my hand. I don't know how Caliban wants to eat it. Hand to mouth or
I'll
mouth
put
to
out
hand.
my hand.
Okay,
I'll put
I'll
out
put a
my
grape in
hand.
your-
Yeah.
like a pigeon situation. I wasn't sure.
Did you expect
see
him
me-
to perch on your arm?
You've seen me eat before.
Oh, I guess I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's grieving.
Mm.
Forgive him.
That's delicious. I've not had a grape before.
So good.
Yeah. Nice.
Never.
No, never.
I'll
That's good.
I'll introduce Bertram to the rest of the crew. Party. Bertram, this is the party.
And don't worry, friends. His name is still Bertram, even when he's not on a boat.
It's actually Bertram. It's Bertram.
It's Bertram with an ER. Thank you.
I think I'm downstairs brewing a potion.
Making your potion.
Yep.
So your name is Bertramer.
Bertram.
Bertram with an ER is Bertramer.
There is no ER at the end. We are wasting a fair bit of time. I am pleased to make all of your acquaintance, but I am quite concerned for Veila. I'm aware that the rest of you.
It's Yori's shift to drive, so let's go.
Rav falls in a heap on the deck and cries.
I'm afraid it seems your friend Yori has
Died!
departed, not this mortal coil, but has simply left to go on a journey of her own. I understand it to
As
be.
she is wont to do.
Oh, sucks to be Darwin.
Well, I suppose Dear's lucky we are nearing our end of our journey.
True, true.
And if there is need be, I can guide the vessel. I know the location.
Let us go then.
If
Yes.
you trust me with that responsibility.
We can't
Very well.
stop leave. This is where Yori was last seen.
She will find us. She always finds a way.
Ravelor, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Perhaps when you truly love something, you should let it go.
Aye, indeed. We'll tell that to Lucas and what's her name. For I am many, many miles from the two of them, and yet I feel no closer, no fonder.
Barwin just walks to the wheel, or just casts whatever however you do that.
Yeah. So Bertram will help as well, and you can cast off. And Nosy, the harbor master, sort of sets people in motion to help you untie and see things off. Nosy sort of gives you a salute, and the Headless Dairy can take off from the harbor.
Pudrick starts
Sorry.
feeling the boat moving, so puts his potion in the Thermomix, and then runs upstairs. It's like, what? Leaving already? Where are we going? Yori? What? Has thou changed? Yori, you in disguise? Why be...
My name is Bertram,
Ah,
and yours?
Pudrig. I'm Pudrig the Great. Yori Bertram.
Very well, Podrick. Well met.
Rav looks up from the floor. Nay, Podrick, he be the furthest thing from Yori imaginable.
A giant.
Or I
Yeah.
could not imagine Yori looking like this. Why would Yori choose such a shape?
I
beg
and
your pardon.
Yori is better at making friends.
Ooh. Take that, Bertram.
That comment was more incendiary than I had expected.
That's the sassiest thing Buckle said.
He is upset.
See, I knew it. Buckle, I knew it. Repress not thine feelings, for thou art sad, I know it.
I'm sad, but it is a sadness I'm accustomed to, for I know that my best friend Yori will return someday.
Aye, mayhaps, but Buckle, thou didst uncharacteristically savage Botram, and though I am on board because he is a foul, loathsome creature, I wish not to see thee besmirch thy good nature by turning on any others.
I did not mean to turn on him, I was simply commenting how most people enjoy nicknames.
Thou didst it again!
No! I
Bertram, how should we exit this inlet to best find a destination?
Wait, so
We shall be making a southwesterly heading, and then through the breakers there are several large pillars of baseline rock that we will need to be wary of, and then we'll make a heading around the lip. And at that point, it's probably best I take over, if not the whole way. It's
whoa. So this truly be not Yori. This truly be a boat ram.
I can promise you, Padrig the Great, I am no such person as was your friend whom I did meet, and who did ask for half a day to see sightseeing, and it seems hath taken a much longer vacation.
So we just let anyone take wheel of our Headless Mary.
Indeed, I think it not wise to hand the wheel over to this loathsome swine who did not grant Yori permission to sightsee, and now she hath left.
Wow, that was more insulting from a wooden donkey.
I feel I must have missed some incitement of this row, but I think this Ravel, or perhaps we should place it on hold until we are at our destination, for we have agreed that is where we are going, and I trust Avery in this matter that Bertram knows best where that is.
Yes, thank you, Barwin. Ravelor, please. Just
Fine.
let it go.
If anyone needs me, I'll be in Yori's bunk. Goes downstairs.
Padrig sees Ravelor run. Ravelor, no! And then runs off. Rav, but doesn't follow, just goes into his room and keeps cooking.
Avery, I said it when we met, and I shall say again, it is certainly an interesting cast of characters with whom you play.
Meta.
Yes.
Sorry, that's in my head.
Always. Was it though?
Short distance of travel from here to here.
You're upstairs, Matt.
They are certainly interesting, but I can assure you for the 7th time that they are trustworthy and good folk.
Well, that is, I believe, more than I can say for many people with whom I have had to have some degree of trust. So, we shall hope that with all speed we make our way to the cave. I must confide in thee, I know not for certain what we shall find there. I do hope that it is simply Veila in distraught and poor spirits, so that we may thither comfort her and perhaps divulge more than I have been able to. But I know not. Sometimes a melancholy so strong striketh her that, I fear for her. This is a... Where did you obtain this vessel?
Magic.
Dost thou speak true?
In that it is a thing I do not understand or care to understand, which is how I respond to all magic.
Well, 'tis undetermined, but history may show you are the wisest of us all. May I, for a moment?
After everything I said to you, Bertram. So kind.
Bertram sort of leans down and looks at the helm, then runs his hand over the railing. It doth have such a mundane appearance. I would not have asked other than... Well, I suppose that would explain it. And Bertram takes out a set of a couple of different tools that he has on him. One of which is a sort of small eyepiece, like a jeweler's eyeglass, which he kind of works into his eye socket there, and then looks closely over the grain of the wood, and starts to just sort of check different areas of the ship, muttering things to himself, and then taking out some other small tools, like tinker's tools, from his vest pocket, and kind of touching the normal sort of grains of the wood.
Very forward. To investigate someone's ship that you were just invited onto.
He did ask for permission. And after a while of doing this, he stands up, turns around, and looks at you, Buckle, and then you, Barwin, and says, I feel I'm going to have many more questions about this ship. Perhaps at another time.
Well, I welcome them whenever they are forthcoming.
Very well.
Bowen is probably the best among us to answer them.
Well, now that Yori is gone, indeed.
I see. You are our presiding captain, I presume.
Yes, it is true.
Well then, in spite of its efforts to the contrary, it is an exceptional vessel that you captain. In any case, I think perhaps it best we make certain we are not being followed. Once we round the heading, I shall tell you where we go. It'll be probably a little over an hour's sail from here to the cave's location.
You sure it's not like 9? You sure it's not like 9 hours?
Yeah, I'm quite certain.
We can detour.
Let's get a scenic route.
Like the horse.
Yeah, Avery, can you show us all around, like, and point to all of the great things, like?
Got any tourist attractions you want to show them, Avery?
Yeah. Where's the best place to get ice cream?
Where's the best place to get ice?
The northern reaches, like the poles. Yeah, the mountains, probably, at this point. Or the river in wintertime.
A white dragon bears some ice for us down the track.
Maybe. Maybe. Old Ford Mustang.
As we're going out, I will be keeping a pretty close eye on where we're going, just to make sure we're not being followed.
Okay, make a perception check then, Caliban.
Oh, here we go. Smoke. Spin the wheel.
23. Keen-eyed as usual, up in the crow's nest, I presume. Visibility is good today. It's relatively clear. Yes, John Mark.
I was just wondering, is our ship looking the same as the Headless Marys? Yeah, it is.
Yep, it's still as Yori predetermined it to be when spinning the wheel. The very beigest of beige keel boats. Yep, looks totally like you disguised it.
Thank you.
Caliban, with your 23, you see a variety of vessels in the bay. It's relatively crowded, and Barwin and Bertram sort of have their work cut out for them in tacking a course through the very many ships nearby. Once you get away from the actual harbor itself, there's a number of fishing vessels not too far away that are sort of trawling for shrimp and other fish and things like that near the barrier islands. And there are some merchant vessels as well as some military vessels, which seem to be doing kind of drills and exercises further out of the bay into the main open water. And they are kind of sailing in formation and then suddenly tacking left and right, trimming sails in unison, firing some kind of training shots off the distant side of the ships at various targets. And then the merchant vessels, there's a couple of quite well-appointed looking ones that are coming in, who seem to have been on long journeys, and then a number of smaller private craft that are making smaller trips, some of which have similar headings to you and are not far behind you or ahead of you, but they generally break off before you get to the head of the bay. And by the time you cross that turn and begin turning in a more westerly direction, having gone southwest, you're more or less alone on the sea. And at this point, you don't see any telltale signs of smoke behind you.
And the ship was still there when we left.
Yes.
The
Yeah, you saw the spaniel there.
Okay, cool.
When you round the heading, Bertram will take the wheel if you let him, Barwin. And then you'll notice that at some point further past there are a number of rocks, quite jagged, sticking up out of the water, looking pretty hazardous, with some severe surf pounding around each side and spraying everywhere into sort of caves and low-hanging boulders and things like that from the side. And Bertram guides the ship relatively close to these hazardous waters. He seems very confident in what he's doing. However, this would be pretty risky business for you to attempt, having not done it so before here. He finds a point after a number of pillars of these rocks have been sticking out of the surf, and then quite suddenly spins the wheel hard to starboard, and the ship moves very quickly to the right and goes threading the needle between two of these pillars where spray is going up everywhere, and the ship kind of rises with the tide for a second and then lurches a bit as well before it settles into a relatively isolated looking kind of lagoon or little inlet where the water is suddenly calm again, but these difficult rocks and sort of jagged outcroppings are behind you, and the ship settles once more. And there is a sort of shallows area where Bertram encourages you to sort of trim the sails down and drop anchor. And you are at a beach that has a number of kind of boulders in the water and on the land around it. And the land is a sequence of cliffs, rocky outcroppings behind the beach. And where he has pointed you to land, he points in the distance, and at first it doesn't look like much of anything at all. But the more he encourages you to focus carefully, you can see that in the nook of two of these bits of rock wall, there is an opening, a kind of cave mouth. Seems very small, and then suddenly you can see it better once it's been pointed out to you. And then Bertram says, "It is here that we may expect to find Veila. I do hope. But we should make haste."
Before we leave, are we expecting to come back to the ship today? Or are we going to be staying in this cave?
Well, it is not the most hospitable of locations, although Veila has reached a point where she is comfortable here for stretches of time. But to be honest, having the ship available... A moment, actually. Why precisely do you ask, Caliban? Is someone going to leave? Because it will be very difficult for you to get out of this lagoon without assistance.
Well, friend, if we wanted to stay here for an extended period of time, we could use our ship's magic to put it in a bottle where it would be safe and hidden.
In a bottle, you say?
Yes. I say, a bottle.
Captain Barwin, you undersold the properties of this vessel.
Well, thou didst not ask me a question of that sort.
That is very true, although I suppose if I knew the answer to be that, I would have expected it to be all over all of thine faces. How can you contain yourselves to be on such a... Forgive me.
Where is Avery right now?
I'm just standing by on top of the
Okay.
deck. Yeah.
I kind of take Avery aside to ask her a private question. Is Boatram the kind of person who would, say, steal a magical ship in a bottle from an adventuring party?
Nay, I don't believe so. He's already quite wealthy and well off in life. I don't see him needing to steal a boat. I mean, as you pointed out, his name is very similar to Boatram, and he already possesses a boat, I'm sure.
Perhaps I'm wary of how much interest he is expressing at the boat.
Perhaps we should ask him.
Just ask him, are you gonna steal our boat?
Yeah. Avery approaches boat.
Buckle joins her.
Bertram, a few members of the party have noticed that you seem a little bit too interested in our boat, and they are wondering if you have any intention of deceit or deception. And are you going to steal our boat?
Avery.
I don't. It's not from me. Just don't. I'm the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
I have, I think, given all of you an exceedingly high benefit of the doubt. And I understand that you are not in such dire straits as I am, and perhaps feel no pressure to do the same for me. If I may explain, the nature of my interest in your vessel is one of my trade, which, in addition to handling information and goods, is the odd bit of technomancy. The imbuing of mundane material with magical properties is a fascination of mine. That is the extent of my interest.
Thank you, Bertram. Just for the record, I believe you 100%.
Thank you, Avery. You are currently wearing evidence of what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Now, I think we should begin to make our move, and he will sort of encourage you to start the process of disembarking. You have like a little boat that you'd be able to lower from the side of the ship if you like, or you can just kind of jump into the shallows and swim or wade the rest of the way.
This will be the first time.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna walk.
Nice.
Rabbit's
You
still
can do that.
below deck, by the way. No one has told him what's going on.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll find out when the dragon gets here.
Is the fish still in Yori's bed?
You want to find out? Go see Rav.
Because that's where Rap is.
Should we bring Alda with us?
As soon as the words leave your mouth, Barwin, you hear a scratch up the stairs, and then like stopping at the doorway.
And it's Podrick. And Podrick runs out and gives you a giant hug.
He's riding Alda.
Yeah, good luck. Alda is right there, and then Alda, looking up through the deck, sees Bertram. Bertram! I thought I did hear your voice. And then Alda, you can see, is like practically digging furrows into the ship, trying to avoid sprinting out to the front. And says, Avery, are we here?
Yes, Alda. We have
I
returned
didn't
to
know
home.
it. My blood is singing. I did know it. And then Alda sort of like trots out onto the deck and then like sort of flexes her wings out to their full extent, probably more than 8 feet across from tip to tip. And she sort of like stands up a little bit onto hind legs, cracking and flexing. And Bertram comes and stands before her and gives a bow from the waist. It is a great honor to live to see you well again, Alda. I'm glad you are safe. And Alda is kind of like, the honor is all mine, Bertram, and like does her best to sort of return the gesture. And then she looks up at Barwin and Avery and Bertram, and then springs into the air, doing like this high jump that becomes a semi-glide, and then turning backwards, dives into the water, and is like knifing around below the surface. Caliban, are you on the water surface yet? Have you started leaving? Yeah. Okay. At various points, Alda swims right beneath you, and is like looking up at you in waves. She sort of like swims belly up directly beneath your feet, which would be an odd thing to see, I'm certain. The rest of you, are you disembarking / getting Rav?
Yeah, I'll go below decks and get Rav.
But not Podrick.
Podrick came up.
Yeah, right behind Alda.
Rav is crying quietly, holding the dead fish like a teddy bear.
It's like a few days old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
I'm assuming that my once the ship goes back in the bottle, my potion's screwed. I'm assuming.
The
We're not
things
putting it back in, so
Yeah.
I will say I don't think you've actually put it in the bottle yet. So,
No.
so you haven't seen what the outcome of those things are.
Okay, so I put the stand mixer on autopilot, and then I disembark.
Yeah, Rav tucks the half-rotten fish into his bag.
Yeah, you can do that.
Sure.
Your equipment, it's there. You have a rotten fish.
Great. And then he goes along.
Oh,
Okay.
Can I make a potion while walking? Can I like?
No, definitely not. No.
Get a shaker.
just get a gym shaker.
Yeah.
Every improv scene ever.
You just gotta. Are you proficient with kitchen mixer? Bowl and spoon. Yeah. So yeah, you'll have to leave that on hold, I'm afraid. But as you disembark, Alda is rejoicing in this newfound freedom, just like jumping and vaulting out of the water and splashing down in it again. And then she sort of seems to come to herself as she sees all of you getting close to the mouth of the cave, and then sticks a head up out of the water and just says, "Veila, I did forget me." And then she sort of like beelines through the air, flapping up behind the rest of you onto the shore, and comes to a sliding landing in the sand, and begins to lead the way into the mouth of the cave, if you care to follow.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Then, walking up the sandy embankments, you can see that through a number of boulders that are sort of lying haphazardly in the sand, there's a mouth to a cave. And as you get closer to it, you can see it is not just an opening in the rock. It actually seems to have been carved into a shape of a mouth with jagged, sharp teeth sticking down from the top, and then a couple at the bottom, kind of on the sides. But the opening is probably a little under 10 feet wide and around 10 feet tall. And it's situated just so that it's kind of hard to see from directly in front because of the way it's facing. Inside, directly inside, it becomes dim and then dark pretty quickly, but there is water on the floor. And in the passageway, those of you who might be able to feel it could tell that the water is quite warm. You could actually feel it probably first with your face and the rest of your skin, like the heat rising off of it slightly when you walk into the room. It's muggy and warm in there. And the water is kind of like a bath, almost. There is a tunnel going forward, and up ahead, near the end of this tunnel, there is faint shimmers of golden light coming through just faintly through the water and dimly lighting the ceiling and walls around you. Who's going in first? I know Alda was running in as well. Who do you think would be with here? Bertram is probably quite near the front. But...
Yeah, I'll be up near the front.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
No, I'll stay near the back.
Okay. In that case, Avery and Bertram, Avery, you have been here before, so all of this is familiar to you. When you come into the sort of main open chamber of this place, you can see the familiar sight to you of a central watery sort of area, and then a platform of rock rising up out of it, and golden light shining from the ground beneath the water, as well as some of that area that is rising above. There is the sort of rippling golden light on the ceiling and walls from those reflections, and it seems to be an empty room at first. However, Avery, what's your passive perception? Usually have it in front of me.
Passive.
On the left side. 18. I thought it was high. Yeah, you would notice pretty quickly then, I think, that there is a place where the golden light is being obstructed, that's coming up through the water, a shadowy form. It is the figure of a person who is lying underwater, flat on their back, on the ground.
Glory.
If this is Emilith, we bail.
Yeah.
He's dead.
We don't know.
No, we saw his bones crumble.
Definitely killed him.
And
Look at Adam's face. Look at his face when you say
It just warms my heart that he made that much of an impact. And that's what you think right now.
Yeah, and it warms my heart that I made such an impact on his heart.
You did. Make no mistake about it.
That's good. I think you should get an inspiration token for that. That was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're absolutely.
Were you giving it to me just then? Is that what that was?
No, I was taking it.
Okay.
Is that what Ravelo would say?
Yeah, I misheard. What were you about to say, Avery?
Oh, can I get a bit closer? I don't want to get in the water, but can I get a bit closer and see if I can see who the figure under the water is?
Yeah, so you're all in the water, so to speak. It's like
Alright.
probably a little less than knee-high depth at this point, and then there's a raised part of land just beyond. But you can get a little bit closer, and you recognize the figure of Veila lying face up, but on the ground, not floating.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna go get her.
Okay. Bertram, seeing you react with alarm, running towards her, begins to do the same. And Alda, watching you all, is saying, Avery, what art thou doing? Where is Veila?
Someone cover her eyes.
Avery, make a medicine check with advantage. Bertram is sliding up into the water beside you, seeing what's happening. So he's going to kind of help you with what you're up to next. What a journey. That's a 23. Okay, not bad. The rest of you would see at this point that Avery and Bertram reach into the water and then pull up the figure of a human woman whom I don't believe I have shown you yet. Give me a moment.
Human woman.
That's not the one I'm looking for. Thought I had this already pulled up, but I didn't. Here she is. If those of you who are in Rollcast will go to the sort of map share view, I will change the image there from the map of Halefort. Do an image.
That Rollcast image is great.
Yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see her better.
It's what's her name? It's Hillary. What's her face?
And for folks watching as well, I'll go ahead and switch our map view, so you can see that is Veila. Although there's somewhat more vivid streaks of kind of amber, gold, blonde than that image indicates. She is wearing simple. Yeah, she's very wet all over, and she's wearing dark robes, and is like totally slack when you lift her up out of the water. She, with a 23, you gather a few things right away. She does not seem to be dead. She is not breathing. She is totally still. Her heart doesn't even seem to be beating, but her body is warm. Her flesh is like ruddy still. It's not pallid or anything like that. She hasn't gone cold. Her joints like move normally. There's no rigor mortis or anything like that. She just seems to be in a kind of suspended state, almost like a coma. However, you can quickly deduce that like people who are in a coma breathe. They have heartbeats. This is something different. It's kind of seems to be something beyond what basic medicine can see to.
Mayhap our cleric should have a look at it.
Can I do, I guess, a medicine check as well, or?
Yeah, you can do a medicine or arcana or religion, if any of those things you are proficient in. They'll give you slightly different data.
Let's do medicine.
Sure. Barwin's understanding of medicine is very much influenced by her faith. Okay, yeah, you verify quickly what these two were seeing is that she is in some sort of a coma or something adjacent to a coma. But you would know, although this might be a kind of magic that you're not able to perform yourself, there are kinds of magic, and there have been tales of people and creatures in history who have been suspended, put into a kind of stillness magically. People for whom time does not pass, or who are kept preserved in various places. And in particular, you would know as a nature cleric that there are kinds of creatures that do this in mud, for example, or in ice, and they just sort of reanimate when time comes. This bears the closest resemblance to that kind of thing that you've ever seen, but this isn't a human person, which of course, very strange. But as far as you can surmise, she's definitely not dead.
Barwin relays that information to everyone else. So she have never done this before.
Alda comes bounding up at this point and says, "What? Is Veila?"
She is not dead, Alda. She is well. But she is in a sleep from which we cannot wake her at this time.
Do we think that she might be undead? Do we think? Because if she's a vampire, I'm ready.
I think that not to be the case, Patrick. But Bertram, is there some a doer of magic that thou trusts who that you?
Bertram, has thou seen this before, or heard of tales of such states?
I know not for sure, but I can say for certain that this place, this cave, Veila is connected to it in a way that is beyond my understanding. I am certain that there is a tale she could tell on that front.
Not at the
I
moment.
wish she would wake. I only wish she would wake. We have not time.
Barwin looks around the cave. Is there a can I do an investigation check or something?
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check if you like.
Oh, can someone assist me?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll investigate.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm with you at the moment.
So is Podrick gonna help you?
Yeah.
All of you are just kind of around. So anyone who's proficient in investigation is welcome to to pile on with that if you like.
Maybe someone who's proficient do it because I'm not proficient.
I can do it.
I can do it too.
Yeah. Each of you can get sort of different bits of intel based on.
Not great.
Oh yeah. Oh man, 9. Okay. And Podrick was a 7. And then Barwin, what did you roll? Or is that you coming now?
That was
Heartbreaker. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well,
So
it's nice to meet her.
yeah.
You say there's a shaft of light in the cave?
There's light emanating from the ground in various places, which Buckle, I think you would notice. Everyone else is kind of looking around. The ground near where Veila is lying is shining slightly in a kind of shimmering gold. And while the rest of these folks are looking kind of up at the ceiling, you can see that there's a variety of crystals breaking through the dark grayish black stone that makes most of this cave. Buckle, while they are looking at that, I think you would notice that the ground also seems to be glowing with a slight golden glow wherever Alda is walking.
I point at it, and I'm like, I do not understand magic, but I believe that is magic afoot. A feet.
Very good.
Buckle, I do thank you for your estimation of me, but these are just my normal feet. And she sort of like sits back up with her paws out.
Kindly stamp thine feet into the water. Fair Alda.
Dost thou truly wish me to do so?
Aye.
Very well. Boom, boom, boom. She starts like splashing everywhere and kind of cavorting in circles. And sure enough, everywhere she stands, the ground seems to like light up briefly in a close vicinity around her.
Oh, Alda, could you try putting your paw on Veila?
Oh.
Gently.
Gently. Don't
Hi. Very, very well. Alda very quietly and gingerly sort of sloshes her way forward through the water. Puts a hand out onto Veila's shoulder. And then
I thought that was Adam.
and then changes from her shoulder down to her hand, which is lying limp at her side. And as soon as Alda places her paw onto Veila's hand, both of their eyes open wide. Veila's open and Alda's open, and both of them shine with a golden light. Sclera, pupil, iris, all of it just goes bright gold. And they are sitting in silence for a moment. The light fades from both of their eyes. Alda brings her paw back and sort of like stumbles backward and looks around, breathing hard. And then looks up at you, Avery. I saw her, Avery.
What was she doing?
Avery. I saw my mother.
Oh. Your mother? Where is she?
From behind you, you hear a voice say, I believe that's something we would all very much like to know.
Fuck. What, Yori? What are you doing here?
And it's a little bit early for our break. However, I do think now is probably a good time for us to go ahead and do so. It is a good time for us to go ahead and do so. Hey.
Tell me they snuck up on a person with 24 passive perception.
Almost like you're working with a group of professional trained assassins. Almost like that, isn't it?
Us.
Yeah. Okay, that is gonna do it for the first part of our session for tonight. We're gonna take a quick break. It is 8:45 now. Let's go ahead and make it a 15-minute break and begin bang on at 9 o'clock. Normally we do 10, but we'll be back. Get yourselves a drink, take a break, and return for the second half of our session. Take a break, and we will return at 9 p.m. sharp for the rest of this episode of Bardic Inspiration. See you shortly. Welcome back. We have returned to Bardic Inspiration. We are in the cave just outside of Halefort, where the Headless Marys have finally made their way. Is that your initiative, Caliban?
Yeah.
You better keep track of that. Better keep track, because I'm about to ask. You were speaking over the apparently lifeless but perhaps still living Veila, and Alda had just touched Veila's hand, eyes gleaming gold, and she had just said, "I've seen my mother." And then, breaking the silence from behind you on this large mass of land, near where Veila was found in the water in this cave, you hear the voice of Tristan saying, "I think that's something we would all like to know a little bit more about. And I need everyone to roll for initiative." Yeah. Another good time to shout out Matt Day, whose system allows us here to roll these dice and see all of the order of rolls in the chat. Pretty fancy for Rollcast. Yeah, Podrig. Coming in quick off the mark.
Watch me thorn with the shit out of these people.
I just can't see how they can get that close to me. This is insane. Like, they must trail so high.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Cheeky. Okay. Just checking something really quickly. All right. I'm going to, I know you've got your things right in front of you there, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask. I know Podrick was at 19. Was anybody else that high?
I got 27.
No.
27.
Whoa.
Anyone else above 20?
What's your plus to your?
I just what I love is like when I rolled a 19, Avery was like, "Yeah, good one, Patrick."
Condescending. That's great.
Amazing.
That's great.
Yay.
Okay, so sorry, that's Avery at 27. Good lord. Podrick at 19. Anyone in the 15 to 20 range?
Buckle
besides
17.
Podrick? Buckle 17. Okay. Anyone in the 10 to 15 range?
I was 9? No, I was 8.
8 for
Oh, no.
Rav. Anyone else in the 5 to 10 range next to Rav?
Yeah, 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Caliban.
9 as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought that 9's our lowest.
So just so you know, since y'all are, is that the lowest? Is that everyone? Okay, cool. Just so you know, Veila, Alda, and Bertram are at 14 in the initiative order, so they're kind of going in the middle of the pack. Yeah, well, Veila's turn will be at that time.
All
Whatever Veila is able to do remains to be seen, I think. Okay. In that case, we have our initiative. Let's flip into something a little bit more battle. Now, funnily enough, Avery is first in the initiative. And Avery, you don't have the alert feed, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's right. Which means you cannot be surprised. So the way this works is that surprise is a condition that keeps people from being able to take actions or reactions on their turn or to move. And then after sort of one go through, one round, surprise goes away. Does anyone else have the alert feed? I don't think that was the case. Okay. However, Avery, with your quick reflexes, can you see the map from where you are? From your setup in Rollcast, if you go to the map view?
Yep.
Cool. So everyone else seems to be kind of frozen, having heard Tristan's voice, but you've whipped around quick smart, and you can see him there, just like you can see on the screen. And there are a number of other people who you can suddenly clock at various points around the cave that seem to have crept their way around the perimeter, and some coming closer to you all. They got right up on you before you could see what would happen. But Avery, you do have your reactions and actions at this point, and you are going to be able to act before Tristan and the rest do. What do you do?
Tristan, get lost.
Okay, you say that.
Great.
Well used.
Are you? You can say that as like a free action. If you like, are you going to? You can also use your action to do something, or you can leave it at that. It's up to you.
No, I'm gonna try to shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Where is Avery on the map?
Yeah, I'm not on the map.
Oh, you're not?
The map.
Zoons. That's a mistake on my part. I can fix it right quick though.
Oh, is it Zooms?
I'm on the
Zoons.
tangent.
God's
Yeah, Avery's doing quick laps around the pool. He's got the zooms.
Avery is too alert.
Let me take. I thought I had your token up here, but I clearly didn't.
Stitch's little EOs.
Yeah, he's drooling on me right now because there's a cookie on the
No.
desk.
No mango.
He's
Okay.
here?
There's a dog.
Avery, I presume that you would be close to Veila since you were doing that check. So I've put you. Can you see yourself on the map there? It might take a second to load
I see a
up.
big prawn.
Yeah, like armadillo.
Your name should be. You're right above Rav in that
Oh
square.
yeah, my name
You
just
can-
appeared. Yeah.
Yeah, I can click that so you can see.
Yeah.
So if you want to take a shot at Tristan, you can move through your friends' spaces if you like. I think this person would not be all the way up on Caliban yet. But if you want to, you can move to a different square where you've got a clear line of sight at Tristan and take a shot. Where would you like to move?
Do I have a clear line of sight right between Buckle and Rav? Like right between them?
I would say if one of them were a small creature, then maybe, but you're also kind of down in the water a bit. And I would say at this point you don't. If you move a couple of squares left or right, you might be able to, or if you step up between them and stand in front of them, you could. But
All right. Well,
up
I'm
to
going
you.
to move to the left and back, kind of near Barwin.
Mhm.
But like far away from Padrig, and then I'm going to take a shot from there.
Okay. Like say around here?
Yeah.
You can get a line of sight from that square, and you've only used 5, 10, 15, 20 feet of your movement. You can take a shot.
Cool. And I'm guessing I can't use sneak attack because he knows I'm there.
you don't have advantage on this roll. It's tricky. Like you have that steady aim feature, but it only applies if you're still to take your steady aim. So you were kind of caught in a pickle on that front. You can just make a regular attack roll.
Yeah. All right. I'll make a regular attack roll. So I roll a 1d8 plus 4, and then I add my DC.
So
right?
first you roll a d20 plus your attack bonus. So if you look at your longbow, it should say plus 8 or something like that next to it, whatever that is. You roll a d20 and add that. Okay, 15 on your shot. I believe does not hit, unfortunately. So as an action, you fire a shot with your longbow, and Tristan very lively sort of anticipates the shot and is already moving in to his right slightly as you loose it, drawing his own blades as you do so. You still have your bonus action and a little bit of movement if you want to use them.
I might just use my bonus action. Can I use my bonus to steady an aim for next time? Is that how it works?
No, you can only use steady aim for the turn you're on. You do have your cunning action, which means you can use your bonus action to dodge, which makes all attacks against you have disadvantage. You can disengage if you're next to someone without getting hit, or you can dash, which means you can move your full movement speed and run somewhere fast. Up to you.
I'll use dodge.
Okay, so then remind me if I ever end up having someone attack you, those attacks are at disadvantage because you've kind of taken up a defensive posture and you're ready to move out of the way at any point. That is Avery's turn.
I'm just going to say quickly to Tristan, that was a warning. If you
Nice.
want If you want that to hit you next time, then stay. But otherwise, you should leave.
Trash talk.
Okay. Make a, just out of my curiosity, make an intimidation check.
Okay.
I want to see how this lands for Tristan.
I'm not a very intimidating person, sadly.
You never know.
Hey.
Ooh.
Pretty good. 18.
Tristan runs. Tristan runs
Avery,
away.
Avery is looking stone cold, and that arrow did just miss. I mean, it really did just miss. You just missed his AC, which Buckle would know, because Buckle used that feature the Battle Masters have. Okay.
Hey, what was his hit points again?
Pedro/Buckle would know this, and you did use a feature to get this. Yeah, so it's 70. You used Know Your Enemy, and you found out that his AC was 16, and that
Not to be a pedant, but I can only use Know Your Enemy outside of combat.
Yeah, no, you used it.
But
Remember
you already
last
this is the guy I
session?
did before. You're right. Yeah.
This is the guy who was at the helm of the ship when you had a sneaky peek.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
the other dude.
Someone's hit points can be 70?
Oh, just you wait.
Right?
Just you wait.
Dragon 50.
More than 70.
Show me for a brain.
Hey,
Squishy casters. Yes.
I just rolled for Peace Blossom. He got 13 for initiative.
For my sanity, it would help if Peace Blossom just acted on your initiative.
All right. As long as he can act, like I can choose if he acts before me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're tied with two of your other compatriots, so you can have him do a thing right before you do your thing. You're working as a team, and you communicate telepathically, so it's very easy for y'all to do that.
Then, for your sanity, Adam, would you like Terrence to also roll, like to just go on my move as well?
When you find Terrence and convince Terrence to be a member of your party and or your
just
familiar.
For your sanity, do you want Yori to just attack my one as well?
Hey, Yori is on a journey. Okay, Yori sent you a heartfelt letter. Time for everyone to move on.
Count for a while.
So Avery, you notice as you shoot these words like barbs after your shot, Tristan sort of steels himself and gets serious. He seemed to have been pretty cocksure as he sort of like said something, and does seem genuinely kind of taken aback by how quickly you got that shot off. And he sort of shakes his head and says, "Well then, I should have known me that I should have been more careful. Well then, time to make sure it's not a problem moving forward." And then he makes a signal with his hand, and then arrows are loosed from several points around the circle. And it's time to make some attack rolls, as a few things happen at once. Okay. Now I've got 1, 2. Okay. 2 arrows are loosed out from either side of your group, and both of them thud into Alda, one after the other.
What?
Should have left her on the ship.
And Alda is about to take some damage.
No,
Let's see.
This is your fault, Yori.
Pulling those dice. Just double checking I've got these dice rolls right. Mm-hmm.
No, it's less. It's less. I double checked for you.
Yeah, I double checked. Podrick double checking.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
actually you're adding health points, so you should be adding health.
yeah.
Oh no. Okay, now we can all see.
Okay, two of these arrows thud into Alda, and it hurts.
What?
You notice as those arrows plunge into her chest, she screams with the impact, and then something else happens after the impact is finished. From the points where the bolts have entered her scales, a sudden like inky blackness spreads out, corrupting the scales as some of them begin to flake and dry and fall off into the water. And Alda sort of totters on her feet, stamping around, and like holds her head down for a second, just trying to grit her teeth through the sudden pain that's coursing through her. That happens from 2 bolts. And then, where are we? Tristan and this other, the person in orange, are going to run forward. And Tristan's going to stay out of your range, Podrick. They're both coming straight to Avery. Now, Avery, you are dodging, which means attacks against you have disadvantage. Both of them would have advantage on their attacks because they're ganging up on you. As a result, it sort of cancels out. And both of them are just going to take swings at you, normal attack rolls. One of them is going to miss. Tristan's is going to hit for the first attack.
Can I use uncanny dodge still?
You can. As soon as I tell you damage from Tristan's, you can choose to have that damage. This is using your reaction. Give me just a tick. I'll make a quick roll.
He's a dual wielder, isn't he? Is he?
Yes, Tristan is holding 2 blades. So then that first one from Tristan. There. And Avery, I would need for you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
These guys play for keeps.
Oh, it got better at the end. Okay, now 7 is a fail, unfortunately. So you're going to take some poison damage in addition to the piercing damage. Okay, here that goes. That is a total of 13 points of damage. You can use Uncanny Dodge and take that down by half to 6. That is Tristan's first attack. The other person missed. They're now both going to take second attacks at you. The other one is going to miss again, really whiffing. Tristan is going to hit, however. You've got new armor. Let me just verify. What's your AC now, Avery?
27.
You say 16?
Yeah.
It's still going to hit, unfortunately. Okay, so that is once again. I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
The Constitution is so low.
Yeah, rogues. Good at dodging, not taking licks. That's better. That's a success. That means you are not going to take poison damage on this particular slice. You also managed to, so that's 8 more points of piercing damage, just piercing damage. Because you took the dodge as your bonus action, Avery, you're kind of managing to move totally out of the way of one of these short swords that's coming for you, and then Tristan is able to land a good shot the first time, but then the second one is more of a glancing blow. Then he, when he misses, sort of semi-misses that second time, he says, "Should have concentrated on you first." And then the other 2 who shot arrows from the side are going to fire again. This is all kind of happening at the same time. They each have 2 shots. One of those is going to miss, and the other one is going to hit Alda. Who's going to make a con save. Pretty good. Good enough. She's not going to take poison damage that time. Okay, but she is going to take this damage. Not great. Okay, just another 4 points of damage for Alda that time. But she has taken 3 of these bolts. Okay, and she's... yeah, she's not like looking on death's door yet, but she's looking rough. She's taking some damage. And then you hear or see just for a moment a wisp, like a streak of light through the air, coming from the darkness of the cave. And it streaks past you, Caliban and Rav, and it lands in a space behind Alda slightly, hitting the area above the water there, stopping, and then exploding in a familiar fashion that you've experienced once before. As I need all of you, except for Avery, to make dexterity saving throws.
Gosh, I wish I had a reaction right now. I could do a lot of things.
That's true. Avery's the only one who has a reaction.
Oh, so I can't take like an uncanny dodge or whatever.
That's correct. At this point, you do not have a reaction.
Oh, I get advantage on dex saving throws.
That's handy. Okay, keep track of your results.
Oh, hey, 28!
Caliban, you have evasion as well, so that's pretty okay.
25.
Good rolls. Good rolls.
I rolled on D&D Beyond. I got a dirty 20.
Dirty, so dirty. Okay. Now, how many of you got or beat a 14? That's good. Y'all are good at dex saves. Okay, the 4 of you are going to take half damage on what's about to happen. The rest of you are taking full damage.
No damage, final offer.
No, it's not how it's going to go. Caliban's going to take no damage because Caliban has evasion, which is nifty roguey business.
Oh, fuck.
Those of you taking full damage take 31 points of fire damage.
Oh my god.
Pretty good roll.
Holy crap balls.
So we take half of that, right?
The 4 of you take half. Well, 3 of you take half. 1 of you takes none.
And we have no reactions at the moment.
You have no reactions at the
Oh
moment.
my god.
So that's 15.
Yep. So you take 15 if you took half damage. Keep
And
track.
final offer.
Afraid it's not a bargain. Fire doesn't negotiate. As this huge explosion of fire dominates and lights up the walls of this side of the cave, some of the water steams off of the surface around you. Those of you who are in the water feel it suddenly heat almost to boiling around your ankles as the fire, as quickly as it comes, vanishes. And the source of that fire, you cannot at the moment detect.
Can we see where it came from?
You saw Caliban, you would have seen a streak of light come from across the cave. Its precise location or origin, hard to say, as it's pretty dim over there.
Okay.
Mage, what is this mage?
That is their turns, which means, let's see, you all don't have actions or reactions, which means we'll come back around to Avery at the top.
Avery.
Yeah. So Avery, you've seen all this take place just now. You've got these 2 folks, Tristan and one other, up next to you, taking swings at you. What are you gonna do?
If I walk past Tristan, is he going to take an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. Unless you disengage, in which case you evade attacks of opportunity.
Ugh. I want to walk backwards and behind everyone, and I want to come around to Alda's side.
Mm-hmm. So if you use your action or your bonus action to disengage, you can do that without getting a swing taken at you. Or you can take the risk, and 2 of them can take swings at you.
No, I'm just gonna risk it. I'm gonna try to move backwards and then around and then over to Alda.
Okay. You took the dodge action last turn, but that's gone now. So they are both going to take swipes at you.
Miss.
Our buddy in orange managed to miss with advantage, which is something. That's really impressive. Tristan, however, did not miss. Tristan will have hit you, which means it's time to roll some dice. Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please, Avery.
Can I make a dex saving throw?
I wish. No, you need to make a con save.
20. No.
Oh.
11 is not gonna cut it, I'm afraid. So, you are gonna take the following amount of damage.
Oh god.
Ooh,
That is 33 points of damage.
Are you out?
nearly.
You do have your uncanny dodge, as it is your turn again. So you have a reaction again.
Can I? What's it? Can I use evasion? Or no?
Evasion is for like fireball, like for areas of effect,
Alright,
like if a bomb goes off.
I'll use my uncanny dodge and I'll take half of that.
Okay, you can reduce that then to 16. And then you can get to where you're going. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 will get you next to Alda.
I only have 20 hit points left, BT dubs.
I'm shocked you have that many. I'd be dead by now.
No, we have the same amount of hit points.
You and I?
Yeah.
I have 45.
Yeah, I have 45. But I've only been taking half damage.
Okay.
Handy evasion and uncanny dodge.
Yeah, why the hell did I get the actor feat?
These are rogue class features, so they're not a feat feature.
What?
Alert is a feat though. Handy in this.
At
Handy in
least
this
when I
moment.
die, I can do a really good James Gandolfini.
And we will hold you to that.
You had better.
Oh my god. Actors to choose.
Okay.
Are you gonna shoot? Are you still gonna shoot?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You still
shoot.
have an attack?
Yeah. I'm wondering if I should take the risk and do sharpshooter.
Oh yeah. That will give you 5 points off the attack roll, but 10 points to the damage if you hit.
Yeah.
Who would you like to shoot at?
Tristan. Tristan pissed in his pants.
Ah,
I heard that rumor.
yeah. Okay, make your attack roll then.
Please, no!
Oh, bummer. That is an 8 on a natural
Minus
1.
You had a good run, Avery.
Alright.
Um,
Protect Alda for me.
I don't know that we can.
Avery, you pull up to take your shot, and then you lose your footing slightly in the water, and as a result, you loose your arrow wildly, and it actually deflects, not doing any damage, but giving a thud to the back of Barwin's helmet, and goes like thunk off of the side. Barwin, it would be quite a surprise in the moment. It doesn't hurt, but it's like a wow, what was that kind of thing. And Tristan starts to laugh. Do we have you rattled then? Come on.
The only thing that's rattling are the stones inside your head.
All right then.
Tristan runs away.
No, at that point, Tristan puts up another signal with his hand, and then there is suddenly motion all around the place. He is going to run over to Podrick, next to his buddy.
Why is he getting so many turns?
Is it their turn now?
It is now their turn, because Avery, we're at the top of the round again. So surprise meant that none of y'all got the act. They were happening. This all happened so fast. The fact that Avery was doing things is really impressive. It just means she got the jump, just like they did. And all of you have just been turning around, being like, "What the hell? Arrows everywhere! Fire!"
I've been working on my James Gandolfini.
Yeah. So then we're gonna see lots of arrows come flying through the air again. 2 of them at Alda. And they are both going to hit. Alda's gonna make con saves.
Bertrand better be a healer.
They don't go well. Okay.
Well, it depends on whose definition of go well.
So Alda's gonna take.
Oh my god.
Alda is taking 28 points of both piercing and poisoning damage, and Alda is not looking good.
Was Alda still alive?
Alda's a bit of a tank. I don't know if you knew this about her. You haven't seen her actually get really hurt. Dragon.
Do some fighting, Alda.
She did almost single-handedly rescue Avery from those mudfish. Blast from the past, that one. But yeah, these two arrows thud into Alda, and she begins to scream in this kind of agony, and her voice goes into a higher pitch, and she's like scrabbling at these arrows that are piercing her scales and trying to rip them out. At the same time, Tristan and his companion begin to each take swings at Podrick, whom they have flanked. So they are going to have advantage. Yes,
actually, they're going to have disadvantage because he's within 5 feet of me.
Okay.
So I'm going to do my
your
sentinel
reaction
attack. No, yeah, I'm going to spend a reaction to do I forget the name of it, but if anyone attacks someone within 5 feet of me, then they do it at disadvantage.
Okay, is this from your Shield Master feat?
Yes.
Okay. Protection. Okay, it's your fighting style.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so you do have a choice here. You took Sentinel? Is that right? Is that what you said?
I must have. Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry. It's protection is called.
Okay, I'm just checking because there is a feat called Sentinel, which does let you, as a reaction, make an attack like that. But this is different.
Yeah,
this is you using your reaction to impose disadvantage. Now there are two of them attacking. You can choose which one, or is it all attacks, or is it just one person's attack? What's the feature say?
I think it's one creature. Yeah.
Okay, so which person will you choose to impose disadvantage on?
Tristan.
Okay, Tristan's going to have disadvantage, which is pretty crucial because Tristan benefits from sneak attack when he has advantage. So you denied him that. Tristan is going to... I rolled that literally into the garbage.
And that's where it will stay.
It's not a great sign for it, is it? Yep, it's garbage. Okay. No, yep, it was at disadvantage, so yeah, no, that's no hit from Tristan's. Getting your rapier and shield at various intervals in the way, shifting Podrick around, using your body. Tristan is going to take a second attack, likewise at disadvantage. And that is going to miss as well. The other person has advantage, however, and is going to make their attack. And that is going to hit. Podrick, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
What is my Constitution? There we go. All right.
I don't think Australia has one, right? That's a Bill of Rights.
Okay, so pretty. It's a 6, eh? Okay. That is gonna be some piercing and poison. Just double checking my values here.
Rolling for which amendment we're doing.
Feels like that sometimes. Take 12 points of piercing and poison damage, please, Podrick. So many P's. That is on Old Mate's first attack. He's gonna take a second attack and get a natural 20.
Oh,
He's rolling with advantage. Got a 3 and a 20. So that is a critical hit. That will only apply to the weapon dice damage. It doesn't apply to poison.
So what does that mean? How many points is that?
I'll tell you in just a moment for just the that. But you do need to make another Constitution saving throw.
Podrick, now's the time to have connectivity issues.
Oh my battery!
Much better. That's going to be enough. So you will take no poison damage this time, but you will take double piercing damage, which equates to 9 points of piercing damage. As you manage to, with Buckle's help, keep Tristan from taking you out, but this person behind you manages to stab you twice with a short sword really quickly.
Did you say double the 9 or just?
Sorry?
Do you mean double the 9 or just 9 points?
No, that is the total. 9 is the total. I rolled 2d6s and added 3, and that's what it came out to be. Low rolls, even on crits, that can happen. So 2 of those arrows from before thudded into Alda, and then 2 more are coming her way.
No.
You're gonna feel really bad if you kill an adorable 3-year-old.
She's only 3.
I have exactly one way to find that out, don't I, Ryan? Okay. Let me just double check my numbers here. Those are both misses.
Oh.
Improbably, one was just below Alda's AC, and the other was a natural 1.
So
one
that
of
means
these.
they take damage, right?
Yeah. One of these.
Or he shoots the person opposite him.
Just bloody only. The person to the right, the green, is going to be the one who had the natural 1. The one in red simply misfires because they need to move in order to get line of sight on Alda, and the second shot goes wide. The green person is taking a step to steady their weight, and with a nat 1, they actually lose their footing and fall 5 or 6 feet down into the water. They are prone, which means that they'll need to use half their movement to stand up, which they do. But they are just dripping wet there, kind of in a mess in the puddle. That is going to end their bits of business.
I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, Surprise is rough, y'all. It's a rough time. It's no fun.
I love it.
Very good.
We could have just stayed on the pleasure barge.
Could have your favorite
Could've done
boat.
sightseeing.
Okay. Then Avery,
Yes.
since where you are, you can see that there has been a disturbance in the water nearby Alda. Just a quick ripple, a little bit of a splash that you pick up out of the corner of your eye. And there's just the faintest bit of ripple in the surface near Alda.
Who noticed that? Was that just
Avery? Avery notices this. Caliban, you actually have a 19 passive perception as well, don't you?
24.
24. You would notice the slight sound of a ripple behind you. And there is slight motion in the water in the square adjacent to Alda.
Barwin has 19 too. Would she notice that as well, or is that not?
So is Wrath.
I would say, yeah, you can sort of just vaguely are aware that is happening off to the side.
Someone's peeing in a puddle.
Yeah,
Alda
definitely.
farted.
That is 100% what is happening.
Quick, battle the fart. Dex saving throw.
We all
No,
take
that was
poison.
Constitution.
We all take poison damage.
Wait, what would the save for a fart be?
No save, auto fail.
Surely there's a Reddit on that.
if you're immune to poison damage, maybe.
Spoken like a true vegan, let me tell you right now.
Look, it is impressive sometimes. Okay, and then you also see from nowhere these several orbs of magical energy come suddenly thudding into you, Barwin, from straight up in the air above you. And these 3 motes do magical force damage to you, bludgeoning downward straight onto your head. This is not something that requires a roll or a save on your part.
Magic missing.
Where are these tabs coming from?
I think we know where they're coming from.
The water?
D4 is such an ugly
So
number.
then Barwin take 14 points of force damage.
Barwin, use the force.
Can we use a reaction at can we speak at any time, or do we
You can
need to
speak
wait
as kind
for
of
our
a free
turn?
action. Yeah, as long as it's not too much, because it's all sort of happening
Yeah.
really quickly. You can
Alright.
say
I might
something
just
out loud.
mention there's something next to Alda.
That in Peas Blossom's voice.
Yeah,
great.
Peace Blossom saying it.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was. That sounded like part of that could have been something someone else said in front of Caliban at some point.
Ah,
Okay,
yeah,
believe it or not, y'all get turns now. Podrick,
Oh my
it is your
God.
turn, and then after Podrick, it is going to be Buckle, and then the Veila, Alda, Bertram contingent, and then the Rav, Caliban, Barwin
Hey,
contingent.
Adam,
Yay,
we're in a cave, right?
there are.
What kind of insects do you reckon live in a cave?
You know, Podrick would have a better idea of that than I would, but there's a fair handful. Fair few different kinds of bugs and slug life, and like maybe, dark dwelling type things. Yeah.
Like what?
Why do you ask, Podrick?
Podrick's gonna use giant insect.
Ah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I can either transform like 10 centipedes, 3 spiders, 5 wasps, or 1 scorpion within range, or like an equivalent of your choosing, I guess. So
Okay.
what would be around?
Yeah. Good question. So you don't necessarily because Podrick has prepared this spell.
Mhm.
So this is the thing that you have on hand. I will say.
It's a 4th level spell, by the way.
Yeah, right. So because Podrick knows this about his magic, I would say that if you wanted to have something on hand that you keep in a kind of enclosed space on your person, you can have done that for the purposes of this one. You can see what those options are all good ones that you could have. If you wanted to look around in this cave, you could do that, and I could sort of give you what you got. But I think the most likely is either going to be in this cave your spiders or a scorpion.
Okay. All right. Well then, let's go with scorpion. Let's go with the scorpion.
Scorpion. Okay. So you're going to summon. You're going to create a giant scorpion, as it were.
Yep. You need the attributes for a giant scorpion, or you all just you got them?
We can't hear you, Adam. Or I can't.
Podrick, I have my mic muted. Sorry. So if you've got the stats for giant scorpion in front of you, John Mark, then you can use that to determine its or attack rolls and stuff like that. Sometimes the spell on D&D Beyond will tell you that information if you choose it, but otherwise you can decide where does this scorpion appear. I've put it on the map, but you can decide where
It's
it's
pretty much there.
okay.
Or
Where would you like to put it?
Can it be right to the left of me?
Here. I don't know if it showed up on your end yet, but I've moved it there.
Yeah, pretty much. But right next to me. I don't know if you can get in that spot, but that's
Turn
fine.
there to menace these two.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, you have cast this spell and made this scorpion suddenly that you've produced from nowhere grow exponentially in size, and it actually makes this sort of chitinous crackling sound, like a and then a squelching sound as its innards and sort of meat expand to fill that space, and there's a popping sound in the air of the air displaced. It is part in the water, part out, and clicking these giant pincers and hissing at Tristan directly in front. Tristan's eyes go wide at this. Podrick, that was your action. Are you commanding this scorpion to do something?
Yeah, this scorpion will attack. It is going to use its. I guess it's going to use its multi-attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes
Makes 3
sense.
attacks: 2 with its claws, 1 with its sting.
Wowie.
3
That
attacks.
makes sense why it's one of these and 3 giant spiders. Okay. There you go, action economy. So you've got that multi-attack. You can choose how you split those attacks up to you. You also will have, your scorpion will have advantage because you are there causing problems.
So how would I do that?
So you've got 3 attacks. You got two claw attacks.
All right, so it's just rolling d20s, right?
Yeah, so this creature has a +4 to hit. If you see under melee weapon attack, it says +4 to hit one target. So you roll a d20 +4. If it hits, it does 1d8 +2 bludgeoning damage. And the target is grappled. They have to make a roll. I'm assuming either a dex save or an acrobatics check. So you can make 2 of those attacks and 1 sting attack, which does a bit more damage and has poison as well. So,
all right. Yeah.
For the record, any creature you have grappled you'll also have advantage on that attack against them.
Okay,
so you can roll another d20 +4, and if it's higher than 11, that will be what counts because you have advantage. A lot of d20s for you, Podrick, right now. Much more than you're used to getting. Oh, it did it!
Yeah.
That is a crit. So this is your claw attack. So that means you're going to do double dice damage. So roll 2d8 +4, and I will make a grapple check for Tristan to see if he gets grappled. That is 4 + 5 + 4. I think that's meant to be 4 + 5 + 2, because you don't double. Sorry,
Sure.
that's my mistake. If so, so then that's 11 points of damage, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, so that's 11. Okay, then you can. He needs to make a check, which it doesn't say. It just says escape DC 12. So because usually grappling is an acrobatics check, I'm just going to have him make that. $14. So he manages to avoid getting grappled this time. That's just the first attack. So you have another claw attack if you want to make it, and a sting attack, which you can devote all to him or spread around as you like. What would you like to do?
We'll devote it all to him.
Mhm.
So the next claw attack.
Yep, that one will be a hit. You can roll again just to see if you get another crit.
Cool.
All right, all good rolls though. So now you can roll your normal damage for that, and he'll make another escape check. So that's 1d8 + 2.
1d8 + 2. 5 or 7.
Okay, so he's going to take 7 points of crunchy claw damage, and then he's going to see if he can avoid getting grappled. Oops, I always do that. Roll. And that is a fail. The second check, you get a grip on Tristan with that scorpion, and it clenches its claw right under his solar plexus in between his arms, and he's like attempting to like pry it apart, and is just not strong enough to do it. He is stuck in there.
So if he's
Now.
grappled now, does that mean the sting has advantage?
Yeah, it was going to anyway because of your positioning, but in this case, even if there was no one else around, it would have advantage because you have him grappled. And also because he's grappled, he's stuck. He cannot move. That is equally important, I think.
Right.
So if you want to, you can just roll 2 d20s and see if one of them's a 20. And we know that your modifier is +4. Oh, I really thought that one was going to be a 20 again. Okay, so 10 + 4 is 14, which unfortunately does not hit. That's bad luck. Bad luck for the old Stinger. So its Stinger plunges forward, going right for the neck for that kill shot, and he is able to sort of move himself to the side, and the Stinger just misses. Tristan is eyes wide, looking pretty afraid at this point.
Can I use
you
a
have
bonus?
If you have a bonus action, you can use. Yeah.
Yes, my bonus action will be Spirit Totem.
Uh-huh.
I am going to call forth a hawk.
Okay. Does Spirit Totem require concentration?
Ooh, good question.
Because I'm assuming this summoning spell does.
Probably would.
It would be very amazing
It's
combo.
just there as it's like, Let me see. It doesn't say.
So giant insect. Actually,
No, it doesn't.
yeah, it's concentration up to 10 minutes, and then I'm finding Podrig.
Spirit persists for 1 minute. As a bonus action, you can move. It doesn't say anything about concentration.
I would be very surprised. But oh, I misplaced your character sheet. Where did you go? There you are. Nice. Let me find Spirit Totem. Okay, as a bonus action, you can magically summon. It lasts for 1 minute until you're incapacitated. You're right. It does not say that it requires concentration. It stays up as long as you're not incapacitated. What a feature. Okay, so tell us about the Spirit of the Hawk. What does it do?
The Hawk Spirit is a consummate hunter, aiding you and your allies with its keen sight. When a creature makes an attack roll against the target in the Spirit's aura, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to the attack roll.
Okay.
In addition, you and your allies have advantage on wisdom perception checks while in the aura.
Okay. Very nice. And you have a 30-foot aura basically around this hawk. So tell us roughly where you're putting your hawk.
Basically, like behind Rav.
Okay, so right in the middle of you all.
So does that mean I can use reaction on anyone's attack rolls? Is that right?
You only have one reaction in your turn, so you have to be judicious about it. But yeah, so you just know that at any point, if you really want someone's attack to hit and they don't have advantage, you can use that reaction to grant them advantage.
Okay.
I'll put the little fire spirit marker there. There's your falcon, and 6 squares in a circle around it. So all of you are well within that range. Okay, cool. That is Podrig's turn. And what a turn. Okay, then it is Buckle. What's Buckle doing?
So is Tristan grappled right now by the scorpion?
Tristan is very much grappled.
Second question, do I get a bonus action even though I used my reaction this turn already?
Bonus action's not related to your reaction.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did I think it was? I'm going to spend my action. I want to make an intimidation check. I want to shout at the 2 green and red archers. And I just want to say, belay thine arrows or we snap him in half!
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
Yay.
This is your action?
Yes.
Or is this, okay, so you asked about the bonus action so that you could still use that bonus action on top of whatever okay, I gotcha.
Oh, come on.
Alas.
So as a bonus action, I'm gonna
just snap him in half.
yeah. I'm gonna rally what's it called? I'm gonna rally Alda, which means I'm gonna roll one of my superiority dice. And it's gonna give her temporary HP.
Okay. Equal to the number on the dice, I assume?
-1.
Oh.
Yay!
Hey, best you can get.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's good. What do you say to Alda to rally her?
Alda, thou canst survive this.
Oh. Buckle, I am afraid. Next to you.
Fear is a motivator.
Next to you, as you say that, Buckle, Tristan, who is grappled in front of you, says, "Fear is indeed a motivator, lad. We know it too. They'll listen not to thee."
Because we are speaking to thee, we are speaking about thee, not to thee.
that is Buckle's turn, unless you have movement you want to use.
No, I'll get an opportunity from Orange Boy, won't I? I'll stay there.
Yes, if you move outside of his range. Yep.
Yeah.
And he chooses to use it. Okay, that brings us to Veila, Alda, and Bertram. Okay. Alda is freaking out. Bertram seems extremely torn between several options and is going to turn and lay his hands on Alda's shoulders and cast Cure Wounds.
First good thing Bertram's ever done.
Hey now.
You're a rock star.
Wow.
That song doesn't exist in this place.
True.
You're a cave star.
Not yet. We've seen similar antics in Bardic Inspiration before. Okay. Alda is going to receive 9 points of hit points back. And it's the way that he does that, he seems to whip out those Tinker's tools again and sort of begins flipping scales over and rapidly breathing and burnishing over them with this rag. And they seem to sort of start slotting back in place and becoming uncorrupted as he goes, almost as though he's like
Gross.
polishing furniture or something like that.
Yuck.
Nothing he will do will ever please
I
Rav.
hate that.
Okay. Anyway, that's Alda. Alda is looking better. Still rough, but better. And then Bertram does that, healing Alda, and says, "Alda, run." Veila is lying insensate still next to between both of you, and Alda looks at Bertram and narrows her eyes, and then flies up into the air, leaping out of the water. She then turns around, sizes up her options, and then Keating Caliban is going to turn towards the blank space in the water next to her and breathe a gout of flame. I'll show you how that goes.
Excellent, girl.
Come on, Alda.
Farts are flammable.
13. Double check. For sweet Alda. A 13 is exactly what this person needed. So they're going to take half damage, but they're going to take damage nonetheless.
Good communication, Caliban.
Fake plays, Blossom. Yeah.
A 0.
Okay. That's a 0 reflects a 10 on the D10. It's kind of hard to intuit. Okay, so that's 27, half of which is 13 points of damage. A nearby creature is going to take. You hear a shout of pain as flames lick around very quickly from Alda's mouth. For a moment, briefly silhouetting a creature whose the silhouette vanishes as quickly as it appears, just like an obstruction in flames. But there does appear to be someone there.
Did I get a good look at that?
I'd say your attention's pretty divided at the moment, but you know it's there, and you know Alda's moving. You could have seen that there was a creature in that rough area, for sure. Yeah. As to your confidence level about their precise location, that would be very low. Okay, but Alda, having taken off, turns around and breathes that flame, and then is going to use her full fly speed, which is pretty high.
And she knocked the mage down.
She is perhaps contrary to her usual habits, being a good listener. 5, 10, 15.
Sometimes being near death improves your listening skills.
See, Alda is going to make it maybe even out of your vision there on the map. I don't know if you can still see. She's right down near the bottom, and she is just like streaking through the air at low altitude so that she is still low enough not to hit her head on the tunnel of the exit.
Oh,
but
that's
then after,
it. I thought the was the other way.
No, you kind of came through to get to where you are now. The downward on the map is back out the way you came.
God, Veila couldn't have been hanging out near the mouth of the cave?
Nah, would have been convenient, right? Seeing this, Alda moving, there's a cry of pain from where that creature was unable to be seen, and then an uproar as the people who are around with their bows ready and trained on all of you are beginning to shout calls to each other. Let her not away. It is now Rav, Caliban, and Barwin's turn. Caliban has the highest dex. However, you're all on the same side, and Peas Blossom's here as well. So if you like, you can be flexible with who goes first, depending on what you want to do and work as a team.
I kind of think I should go first,
Okay.
So, up to you.
if possible.
Yeah, okay, Rav, you can take your turn first. What would you like to do?
Rav's gonna cast Hold Person
On whom?
on all of them.
Okay, are you upcasting it?
Yes.
I think that you can add an extra target as you level it up above
Yeah,
first level
That's
spells.
so cool.
You can cast up to a 3rd level spell, so you can target 3 creatures if they're
So-
within your range.
And the range is 60, and
That's
I
pretty considerable, yeah.
counted, and they're all within it.
All right, good.
Are you counting the mage?
5, right?
Warms my DM heart. Thank you for doing that in advance. Okay,
Each-
so tell
Wait,
me
sorry,
the three.
each square is 5?
Each square is 5. Yeah,
Then,
60
yeah,
feet.
sure.
60 feet is very big range.
Cool. Yeah, I got
So
them.
like Alda went that far down that way. Okay, so which 3 creatures are you targeting?
So Tristram is already being grappled, right?
Currently is being grappled. Yep.
So I'm gonna do the other 3.
Okay, so you can see.
4. And then
Well, there's
the
3.
mage.
Yeah, there's three that you can see currently.
4, isn't there? There's no
yeah.
blue. What's the blue one?
Sorry, give me a tick.
Well, but Tristram is
Green, a
grappled.
blue.
Yeah,
Oh,
not counting
right.
Tristan.
There are 4.
Yeah,
It's
that's
an
right.
orange boy. Hold on, let me check something. Old person. Okay, I guess I'll do. Yeah, I guess I'll do green, blue. What? I forgot what was happening with orange.
Orange is the one who was swinging and missing a bunch of times at Podrick, but then hit Podrick pretty good recently.
Recently. Okay, so we don't have any kind of. We haven't gotten a handle on orange. Okay, orange,
No.
blue, and green.
Okay, orange, blue, and green need to all make saves against your DC.
Yeah,
Which
and did I
is-
tell you I'm casting this 4th level? Did I say that?
You don't have 4th level? Oh, do you do? Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
In that case, you may be able to add another target. Give me a second. When you using 3rd or higher, you target an additional humanoid for each slide because it's a sec. I get it. Okay. I thought it was a 1st level spell for some reason. That's good to know. So yeah, you can still. That's how you're able to target 3.
Yeah.
Cool. Mark that spell slot then. It's time for them to make saves. That is which kind of saving throw?
Whiz.
Wisdom. Whiz. Save your whiz. Okay. They are going to do that. It's going to just be straight rolls for the 3 of them.
Oh,
So the 3 you're targeting, orange,
yes. but
green,
one
and
more-
blue.
One before that, what can I do with my Bardic coin?
Your Bardic
can you roll?
Inspiration, as your bonus action, you can inspire one of your allies and give them a dice that they add to any d20 roll they make in the next 10 minutes.
But what about the coin I got from first?
Oh, near the end of last week. That allows you to re-roll any d20 roll you want to. So
Okay.
if you made like an attack roll or an ability check and you're like, ugh, awkward, you can use that coin to.
Okay. That's
to
in my
replace
back
that.
pocket for now.
Yeah, noted. So this is orange. That is a fail. Orange is paralyzed. This is green. What's your DC, Rev? I think it's 15 or 16.
What is the DC?
Your spell save DC is like when you cast spells on people. It's right at the top of your spell casting bits of business.
Is it called?
Save DC. It would be here. I'm about to pull yours up. For some reason I haven't updated yours on my spreadsheet here when you last leveled up.
When
And
you
I
go
think
to
I have.
spells tab, when you go to the spells tab, the top 3 numbers.
Yeah, your save DC is
15.
15. Yeah, so that is a success for green.
Ooh.
And then blue.
Come on. He's blue. If he's
And that's a fail. So 2 of the 3 fail. So then let's see, blue and orange. Let me go ahead and notate on here. Super paralyzed.
is blue the mage?
Green is.
No,
you cannot see.
no,
Mage.
mage is not visible.
Visible, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the trick of that one. What did I use? I used that little skull. Let's use that. So they are paralyzed. Paralyzed is a very nasty condition to have in D&D. It is. It's basically like an unconscious person. Attacks against them have advantage, and I believe they might even be auto crits.
Fuck yeah.
But I'll check
That's
that.
why I wanted to go first.
Yeah, I thought that you might be doing something to buff your friends. Turns out, just nuke your enemies.
I can't make things go boom, but I can hold targets still for you guys to make them go boom.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for a paralyzed condition, any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. I didn't know that last bit about the 5 feet. That's useful to know.
So I don't have to make a roll or nothing? No.
Well, that's not for you. That's for if anyone comes and attacks these two, the orange or the blue, they have advantage. And if they hit and they're within 5 feet, it's an auto crit.
Sick.
So, note it. That is your action. Did you want to use your bonus action or movement?
You betcha I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna Bardically inspire Caliban.
Okay. Caliban, you get, is it a D8 from Rav at this point?
Let's see.
Or a D6 for your Bardic Inspiration die?
Yeah. Bonus actions.
It is a D8.
D8, yeah.
So Caliban, at your leisure, you've got a D8 to add to any D12 roll, or sorry, D20 roll. Be sure you say before you make the roll, you're going to add your Bardic Inspiration to the roll.
Sure. Who else is on our turn?
It's you and Peas Blossom, Rab, and Barwin.
Yeah.
Barwin. Yeah, I'm torn because I kind of want to just take a pot shot at this blank space, but also I could just walk up to this guy and probably take him out in one shot. What do you? Do you want to go first, Barwin, or?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm pretty sure the horn won't work because we're not helping the forest. So.
I would. Yeah, I think it's if maybe we don't have a terrible round, maybe, and then.
All right. Barwin is going to use her action to blow the horn.
Okay. Yeah. You take out the horn of the huntress, and blow on that horn. Now, as you do so, you're in an enclosed space, and this horn can be heard for miles when you blow it. It is a extremely magically amplified thing, and when Barwin blows it, it reverberates throughout the cave. As you do so, Barwin, the cave reacts. There are crystals all around the ceiling and the walls of this cave, and some on the sort of stalagmites that you can see on the map bristling around the sides. When the sound washes over them, they begin to glow and kind of thrum with this golden light, and all of the water reflects with it for a moment, and the pulses begin to shift faster and faster as the horn echo reverberates throughout. And then all of that gold light recedes to the bottom of the crystals, fires across the surface of the water into the ground where all of that golden light on the map you can see is centered. And there, the familiar form, spectral form of Bretta, Shield of Argen. Here's.
Rav calls out, "Now's not the time for a booty call, Bretta."
It would make sense for Bretta to appear next to you. Whoops, that's Buckle. There's Bretta. As before, one time when you were outside of the forest, you blew this horn. Bretta did not appear in a kind of visceral bodily form, but a kind of spirit form, semi-translucent. She lands half in, half out of the water, and looks around, seeing that she is surrounded by all of you. Some faces familiar, some not. Buckle, have you seen Bretta before?
I don't know if I have.
I don't know if you have either. So in this case, the spectral form of a extremely tall bugbear with green and gray and brown mottled fur, wielding a massive great axe, and with a bow strapped behind her back, and wearing a helmet that has massive white antlers of a stag coming out from either side. She towers above everyone at like 7 feet tall at least. And as the reverberations of the horn dies down, she looks around and then looks back at you, Barwin, and says, "It has been too long." And then she sort of hoists her axe forward and looks and sees the orange person just like magically held in place, staring up at her, eyes just gradually getting wider and wider. And Bretta just grunts, keeps her axe through the air, and is gonna auto crit this poor SOB. Give me a second. Oh god. I think I should.
Mutters under his breath, "Lucky bastard."
Okay, Bretta is gonna make. First of all, Bretta is going to rage.
There she is.
Second of all, Bretta is going to make at least one attack. Let's find out if she needs to make a second one. Find out. Oh, I don't need to make the roll. They're auto crits. Silly mean. So that's gonna be you. First one. No, it's more than that. This. Barbarians. Okay. That's 18 points of damage on old mate orange. That's pretty rough.
Be hell of a way to go, wouldn't it?
It would be pretty rough. And then Bretta sees as her great axe thuds into this motionless person who just sort of like takes this great axe slash wound next to where the leather armor stops, and then sort of just stays there, unable to move, but eyes wide with pain. And then the second one comes down. That's another 16 points of damage. This orange is looking rough. That's two pretty big meaty strikes from Bretta. And Bretta, after thudding the second axe into this guy's chest, leans back, stretches long bugbear arms out wide, and just lets out this like this really loud kind of battle cry that isn't as loud as the horn, but echoes likewise off of the walls of the cave. And that is Barwin's action, and Bretta's going on your initiative. If you have bonus actions you'd like to use or movement, you can.
Yeah, Barwin is going to cast Healing Word on herself because she's pretty hurt.
Yep, you can do that.
The second level.
Okay, roll your healage.
Oh, okay.
And then I think it will be Caliban / Peace Blossom next up.
Cool.
And then we're back at the top of the order. So you can add those back to your health points. Caliban, what are you and Master Blossom doing?
Peace Blossom is going to try and shoot his bow at the spot where the mage was.
Okay. You can make an attack roll at disadvantage for Peace Blossom.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be a miss. Is a 4 plus
6. Oh yeah, disadvantage.
4 plus 6, is a 10. Right, so that is going to be a miss. Peace Blossom's little arrow goes knifing off through the air and hits the water in the distance.
Okay, that's all right. I'm going to step up to the blue and hit him with my vicious rapier. Now, because it's an auto crit, Does that
Yes.
mean, because my vicious rapier, when I hit a 20, it takes an extra 7?
Yep.
Would that yeah, okay, cool.
Caliban,
and,
if the
sneak
answer
attack?
is yep. That was my next observation to make. If you've got extra damage that relies on advantage or crits, it all applies, and it all if it's dice, it all doubles.
Okay, so the +7 isn't dice, but
No, so your modifier damage, like your +4 or whatever it is, and the extra from the vicious rapier, that doesn't double. That's just normal. So it'll be like a +11 or whatever that is total. And it's a vicious rapier, so maybe more. Might be +12.
It's 1d8 +4
Right. Plus another 7, right?
plus the 7, yeah.
So it's
so
a
it's
D8 plus
1
11 plus all these D6s
11.
from your
Okay.
or
This is
2d8, sorry,
fun.
because it's a crit with
Okay.
your rapier. 2d8 plus
Okay,
11
2d8.
plus double your sneak attack dice, whatever your normal sneak attack is.
4d6.
So you're gonna roll 8 d6s on top of 2d8s plus 11.
I love it.
Get ready.
So,
Oh my god. Oh, those are d4s.
Oh, look at that!
You get to reroll. There's so many
reroll.
d4s. Yeah, you rolled 8 d4s.
sorry,
Roll 8 d6s.
okay. Did you count the other ones? I didn't take a note.
No,
So
just
2d8?
re-roll the whole thing. Re-roll the whole thing
Okay.
again. It'll be too hard to parse out.
So,
All right.
That's even more!
It better be 43 points of damage to this poor SOB.
That's almost all my HP.
Yeah, that's the blue, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't it feel so much better when we get to do things?
Yeah, right.
We're not just copying it.
Yeah. Welcome to my side of the screen, y'all. This is what it's like.
I don't like it here.
You absolutely tear into this person in blue, and like they are not looking good. This is like, this is a bad day for them.
An understatement.
That one thrust of the rapier, you can see is just gouting bits of blood, and they can't move. Otherwise, they would be doubled over in agony at the point. So that's your action. You have a bonus action or movement you want to use, Caliban?
Is there anywhere, like, I can't really tell, is there anywhere that I could hide?
It would be possible. So you see on the map the area, like there's the water in a circle, and then outside of that circle there's a slightly raised bits of rock, like the same level where you're standing now. So you can jump down in the water, go across, or walk across in your case, and go up onto one of the other sides. If you use your bonus action to dash and use the rest of your movement, you could get maybe to where you could actually you want to use your bonus action to hide. So
Yeah.
it would be tough.
Jump in the
You could-
hole. Just
You
jump in
could
the
try
hole.
to hide behind some of those stalagmites or get amongst them, and you can at least know you could probably grant yourself some partial cover at minimum. How well you can hide.
What I might do is I might just take 2 steps forward, so I'm like the blue's in between me and the green, so he can't take a shot at me.
Yeah. So you get partial cover if the green doesn't move. You can do that. Cool.
Right, because
So that,
when blue guys, he doesn't crumple to the ground.
And I think that'll do me.
okay, that's going to bring us back to the top of the order with Avery, and then Podrick, and then the others. So Avery, what you got?
I'm just gonna try taking another shot at Red. Is Red paralyzed?
So Red is not. Red is just over on the side and has not been dealt with in any way at this point.
Cool.
Orange and blue are paralyzed,
I'm going to use my reaction to give Avery advantage.
which means Avery can use sneak attack.
Yeah.
The clutch usage of that feature is in your danger field.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Nice.
if Avery hits, then sneak attack damage will apply. You can roll with advantage. So take the higher of 2d20s and add your modifier to that result. Which I think
For my weapon, right?
Yes, for your longbow. Okay. Yep, 16 plus 8 is definitely going to, that's a 24. So you can roll your damage and roll sneak attack damage as well.
Nice. It's working.
So it's probably like a d8 plus 4 plus
Yeah.
some number of d6s. Maybe it's 4 d6s, I can't remember.
I'm looking at it now.
I only get one reaction per round, don't I?
That's right, yeah. But your turn is about to start. So you'll get a new reaction.
So this was my last chance.
This is the thing I actually always mess up, whether it's based on the whole turn or your turn or this round. And I think that it's this round. So yes, you're right. You will not have a reaction for the remainder of this round. That's the thing I always forget. Look at all them dice. Max damage on the D8, 24 points of damage to Red. Pretty good shot. As you loose an arrow from your longbow, it seems like the person in red was like staring at this giant scorpion that has Tristan grappled, and was momentarily distracted and didn't see the arrow or see you drawing your shot. They take it. That is your action. Do you have any bonus actions you want to use or movement, Avery?
I think I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I might just... Is there anywhere where I can hide that's like nearby?
You can use your bonus action to hide, though at this point, I mean, what you see on the map is more or less what you get.
Actually, I might just stay where I am. I'm going to stay where I am so that I can use my sneak attack next round. Is that how it works? I get steady aim?
So if you can move anywhere you like now because you've already taken your shot, but next round, if you use your bonus action to do steady aim and you don't move next round, you can get advantage on your shot that way.
All right, I see how it works. All right, well, I'm gonna. Is that like a hole behind me?
It is. It's underwater. So if I scroll up just slightly on our map, you'll be able to see better. The map kind of cuts off there. You see how there's like all those stalagmites and a little bit of ground there. There is also a hole underwater, which if you wanted to swim, you could go down in.
Okay.
Yeah, up to you. Each round's about 6 seconds long. So if you just, what would you like to do?
I might hide behind the stalagmite that's like on my left.
Ah, I see. Yeah, like 3 squares over to the left and 1 square up-ish area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can run over to the sort of square adjacent here and make a stealth check.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, 15. You managed to crouch kind of partially submerged in the water there, and then like able to sort of use your hands to keep yourself adjacent to that rock and mostly submerged. Stealth checks are a funny thing because you never really know how well you've hidden. That's up to other people kind of, but you feel pretty okay with this job, and you've crouched in such a way that the water and the rock is covering you from various different directions. So you will most likely have partial cover at least, even if someone spots you. Okay, so that is Avery's turn. That'll take us to Podrick.
Can I get the scorpion to attack first?
You can, yeah. You can, as a free action on your turn, you can verbally command the scorpion to do a thing, and then you can take your action and bonus action as well.
Sure. So let's do that. So the scorpion...
Unless it says otherwise in the spell that you have to use a bonus action or something, but I don't think it does. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
So the scorpion's going to use multi-attack on Tristan again.
Okay, so you have Tristan grappled. So you can make those attacks with advantage. Lots of those d20s again.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can just roll 2 d20s. We know it's a +4, and then you can roll 2 d20s.
Ooh. They both miss.
Yeah, yikes. Not great. Yeah, that's a 12, right? So first one is gonna miss. Tristan is grappled, but not totally incapacitated. He is like sort of able to like writhe and wriggle, and he's pretty shifty. So that first one misses. You can roll 2 more d20s if you want to do another grapple attack. Or grapple another claw attack.
Will do. So 18 on the
18.
18 is going to hit on that second one.
Right.
Yep.
So what's that? That's
So that's a D8 plus 2.
yeah, plus 2.
And he's already grappled, so he doesn't have to roll that DC. Max damage. That is 10.
Great.
Okay, and are you going to make your sting attack on him as well?
Yeah. So that is 2 d20s again.
Mm-hmm. And the sting has different damage, which you'll see on the description. Ooh,
20,
yep, that's a hit.
20.
19 plus 4 is 23.
1d
So
plus 2.
this
Oh, yeah.
is it's different. It's different damage.
Sure. Target must make a DC Constitution. 12.
So 12, or take 4d10 poison as well. Okay. So then let me go ahead and make that roll, and then you can roll all your damage at once in case he fails. Okay. It's con save. That is a fail.
Oh, yes.
So Tristan is going to take 1d10 plus 4d10 plus 2 damage.
Oh my
So
god.
5 d10s
So good.
plus 2.
D10 plus 2.
Yeah!
That is a lot of zeros and eights. 40 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Poison / piercing damage to Tristan. Holy moly.
Cool.
The stinger of this scorpion finally finds its mark, plunging straight into the neck above the line of the armor, and the barb of the scorpion like vibrates slightly as it just releases all this venom that spreads darkly up Tristan's veins and up to the sides of his mouth. His eyes start to darken around the sides, and he screams. Tristan is looking rough. That is the scorpion's turn.
So,
What is Podrick doing?
if I've got inflict wounds as an action,
Mm-hmm.
touch, that's not a spell, right?
It is a spell, but it has a range of touch, just like Cure Wounds does. You have to touch the person. That's why there's an attack roll. So it is possible you could miss. You would have a spell attack at advantage because I'm grappled.
If I'm in concentration for the scorpion, does it mean I can use...
You can cast spells that are not also concentration.
Oh, okay, great. So this one's instantaneous. Fantastic.
Yeah, you just can't have two minds at once.
Okay, great. Well, then I will... I'm going to use inflict wounds as a cantrip.
That's a spell, I believe.
It's one of my cantrip... Oh, hang on.
Inflict Wounds is quite a powerful. It's like 3d10.
No, you're right. You are right. Wait, where is it? Because I'm using it as... hang on. It's in my actions.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, it's weird. It sometimes lists random spells in your actions. So if you...
there it is. First level spell. Yeah, cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. You can do that.
Alright, let's do that.
So your spell attack is +6. So you roll a d20 and add 6, and you roll with advantage. So if you want to just roll 2 d20s, we'll add 6 to the higher of the two. He is squirming mad. That is a natural 20.
26.
Podrick, roll 6 d10s of necrotic damage, please.
Oh, wait. No.
Am I right that inflict wounds is 3d10 of necrotic damage? And correct
It's
me if I'm wrong.
3d10. Yes.
Oh, it is a spell attack and not a save, right?
It's spelled like yes.
Okay, I was like, I'm gonna feel real dumb if that was meant to be a
It's
save.
3d10s.
Because it might not have gone that way.
Oh,
Wow.
28 points of necrotic damage. Podrick, how do you want to do this?
I find the
Yes.
spot where the stinger went into, and I put my hands in it, in that same wound, and I put my hand in the same wound, and then I like open my fingers while it's in the wound, and then you just see the blackness like take over Tristan's head till his head falls off.
He,
The classic human puppet.
Yeah, he was on death's door already, and that just obliterated him. He's like, his skin is suddenly ashen gray with streaks of black to where all the veins are. The sclera of his eyes are totally black, and there is like kind of black, reddish black blood draining out of the sides of his eyeballs as he sort of like falls limp in the scorpion's grip. And then a cry goes out from the red one who had just been shot by Avery, and is echoed by the green from the other side. And you hear the red say, Celine? Celine?
Oh shit.
Kristen's dead in the scorpion's arms and falls limp there. It is now their turns. So, having shouted that out,
Salute.
let me make sure of a few things. I'm gonna check one thing right quick. Okay. I am going to need everybody. Oh, shit.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Making sure. Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ay, ay, ay.
Is this? Oh.
That means it was a huge fart.
Massive, the biggest.
Stop. Oh no.
Bowen.
Shit.
Oh no.
And these are not good noises I hear coming from all of you.
Oh, mate.
Ay, ay, ay.
Did mine not happen?
I don't know. I didn't see yours.
What is happening?
Hey.
Okay.
Yikes.
Oh wow.
Don't forget I'm hiding.
That's right. Avery. Double check the wording on this just to make sure I'm right about that.
Oh, was
Did you
that
hear
Marlo?
Marlo? Yeah, she wants to go out. Okay,
So impatient.
indeed. She's been just lying here in wait. Okay, it's time for me to roll some dices. Now, how many of you got a 14 or higher? All right, Calvin, you save. Everyone else fails. You're about to take some cold damage.
Ow.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot to mention Ravlor has a hoodie in his bag, so he's fine.
Can you add Bardic Inspiration to saving
saving throw?
throws?
Yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool.
anyone who
Good to
has
know.
that is able to do so. Any roll of a d20, you can add a Bardic Inspiration dice to.
Okay.
That includes you, Rav, for your coin of inspiration. This is one of those times. If you wanted to, you can re-roll a d20 roll. Up to you. If you failed that save,
First, can you tell me how much damage I'm gonna take?
I cannot tell you that.
It's 10:30. You're not gonna have much time left in the session. May as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, does it
It's
only
a-
last for one
it's-
session?
it's a lot. Yeah, this is. Yeah,
Then yeah, I'm gonna use it.
yeah. So you can re-roll that saving throw.
Yeah. What was my con save? I think it's +2. Yeah, +2. Come on! Yeah!
Yay!
That is a success. So Rav, you're going to take half of this.
Oh, I wanted none of it.
I think I'm gonna die, guys.
I think I'm dead.
Ford Mustang. It's cold damage.
It is cold damage coming from right in front of you, Caliban. As suddenly the air condenses into icy particles into a small moat, and then explodes outwards into this massive cone that encompasses all of you, including Tristan's corpse, the orange, and I think even red. It is a 60-foot cone. So this creature is having no regard for allies in the way. So that is cold damage.
Can Barwin
45 points.
resistance for herself using her feet?
Yep, which would make it 22 for Barwin, I think.
Thank goodness, because she would have.
Can I use evasion?
It's not a dexterity saving throw, unfortunately. It is Constitution. However, I will say, Avery, given your you can take half damage because you had hidden in such a way behind this rock. It didn't say anything in the spell about whether or not the cone goes around cover. Some spells say that. This did not say that. For that reason, I'll say you get partial cover against it, which I'll rule in this case is a similar effect. So you can take 22 points of damage, Avery.
I'm on 1 hit point.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, did I take half? Sorry.
If you succeeded, yes.
So
that's
so it was
22.
what? It was 22.
That's correct.
Sorry, did the scorpion have to roll as well?
Yes, I should have said. What's the Scorpion's Constitution modifier? Do you have that in front of you?
Plus 15 plus 2. So plus 2.
So it's a +2 overall. Okay, here goes old mate. Oops, I did that thing again where I clicked the D20 twice instead of clicking roll. Not if any of y'all ever do that. How did old Scorps do? 13 is unfortunately a fail, so Scorpion is going to take full damage of 44 cold damage.
44.
Corpse, but he's cold-blooded, so he'll be fine.
How did
It's an
Scorps looking?
It was 44, was it?
Yeah.
He's on 8.
Ooh, what a tank!
Yeah.
Old Podrick is gone.
Oh, that means Scorps is
No.
gone. Okay, so Podrick, you are unconscious.
Yeah.
You were not killed outright, so you would have to lose a lot of hit points for that to happen. But that does mean that on your next go round, provided you're still there, you will have to make a death saving throw. Is anybody else unconscious?
Near it, but no.
At least
okay.
it's Tristan with me.
Yeah, you've wow. Taken I'm just making sure I'm right about this, Podrick, because it remains its size for the duration until it drops to 0 or until you use an action to dismiss its effect on it. Actually,
I think it's still alive.
It's still
it
up.
does not say that it's gone. Okay, I will say Scorps is still standing.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's incorrect. Here's why. Because it's a concentration spell.
Stop playing with our emotions.
I know, but it's very confusing wording.
Yeah, honestly, fair enough.
Is it though? Because the hawk was a concentration spell, wasn't it?
So the hawk was not a spell. This is what was wild, is that
wasn't
he was able to have the
okay.
hawk as well as this because the hawk's not a concentration effect. The hawk does disappear if you are incapacitated, though, I think.
Yeah.
So the hawk will drop. We'll say the scorpion, you can't maintain concentration on something when you're unconscious. So the scorpion and the hawk, I'm afraid, will both be gone. Alas and alack, Tristan's corpse remains behind, bearing witness. Fare you well, Scorps.
Oh no,
You had a good run. Bretta actually needs to make this save as well. Oopsie doodles.
What about Alda?
Alda is not in range.
Hey.
But Bretta, pretty sturdy, is going to make a Bretta save.
What about Yori?
Yori was the mage.
Oh, imagine that.
Oh, Bretta, bless, you're one shy. Bretta's going to take full damage, still standing.
Would be the
Looking
reason
rough.
Bretta dies. Would be the reason Bretta dies.
Bretta's a chunk as well. Okay, so that I believe accounts for all of that damage. Blue is not affected. However, orange and red both are.
So it came from in front of me, did it?
Yeah, pretty much directly in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they both failed. And that's both orange and red. I'm gonna double check red just to make sure I'm right on this. I'm pretty sure I am. Just barely. Orange and red both die, and when they do, this blast of cold energy that comes covering all of you freezes them both solid where they stand. They are just like covered in ice, like statues, motionless. That is that person's turn. Green is just watching this unfold from their position, seeing how things have changed. And Green is gonna bolt.
Yay.
Just absolutely bolt. Like the tide hath turned.
Tide is high.
So Green is going to sprint and actually use the dash action and cunning action to get well and truly beyond sight.
In the hole.
No.
No, just sprinting towards the mouth of the cave.
Moray eel comes out and goes.
When the cold hits your eye. Then, so that's what has transpired. It is next up in initiative, Buckle's turn. And then it will be Veila, Alda, and Bertram. Hello, Marla.
Okay, I will say, whatever just happened directly in front of me, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Ooh, a plan is forming. I'm gonna. Alright, all my things are in 3 different tabs. I'm going to do a commander strike.
Okay.
If Caliban's up for it.
Yeah.
Caliban, it'll cost you a reaction.
Yep.
But if you want, instead of me attacking, you can attack now.
Okay. Can I attack either way?
So you cannot, because you can only take opportunity attacks against creatures you can see. But you can take You can take a regular attack without being able to see a creature if you want. You just have disadvantage.
But you can do a sneak attack.
Well, you can't do a sneak attack.
I could
You have
do it
to
on the blue.
Yeah.
I could do it on the blue one. But,
yes,
you know,
right.
at this stage, he's incapacitated. The only one we're really worried about is the mage.
Oh, I should
so we need
actually
to-
say, sorry, that's relevant. Thank you for bringing that up. Rav, you need to make a concentration check because Hold Person is a concentration spell.
Okay.
You took a lot of damage, so the DC is going to be. Did you take full damage or half damage, Rav? I think you succeeded. So you took 22, which means you need to roll at least an 11 on a concentration check, which is the same roll you just made. So a D20 plus 2, and if you get at least an 11, you hold your concentration.
Well, I should have saved my reroll for this.
I mean,
No,
I'm pretty sure you made the right choice.
Yeah.
And that is a 16 is a success. So you keep Hold Person. Blue is still incapacitated or paralyzed, rather. But
I thought
yeah,
I killed blue,
nope. Orange and red are gone.
but blue's like death's door.
Blue is. How is
Caliban
blue?
dropped like 40 points of damage on it.
Yeah, blue's not on death's door, but blue's not looking great.
So, do you still want to do the commando strike?
Yeah, up to you. If you want
It's
to
an
do
auto
it.
crit.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take it on the blue guy then instead of the
Okay.
mage. Is that alright?
Yeah, if you want.
Alright.
You don't have to roll
So
d20s.
that's-
It's an auto crit, so you just roll your stack of damage,
Okay, so it was.
which again was a 2d8
2d8
plus 11 plus 8
plus
d6s.
4. Oh yeah.
Rogues critting is the business.
It's just
Right up
fun
there with
seeing the
paladins.
dice, really.
Yeah. Look at
Another
90
40.
days. That is 40. All right, Caliban, how you want to do this?
I just want to cut his head off.
Yeah, which, with the rapier is complicated business, but
No, this is a good one.
Yeah, it's a vicious one. In fact, strange. In fact, that you can do that, and with a single deadly strike, stride across at Buckle's command. What does Buckle yell out to Caliban as a commanding strike?
Hit the mage!
I hit the wrong guy.
It doesn't matter, but for my future reference, does commanding strike get to add a superiority die, or is you just
I forgot
spend
to
it?
do that. Yeah, I was supposed to add a superiority die to that.
Okay,
So
so
it's 40
in future
plus-
Caliban, if that happens, you get another D8 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's 40 plus 48 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that's that max damage too. That's the last bit that gets gets the head off, I guess. I wonder if a commanding strike crits. That's a cool question for later. Low stakes now.
Ooh.
I'm gonna look that up on Reddit somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, blue is gone. Very gone. At this
and
point,
then I'm just gonna kind of swing around and go.
through your goggles
looking
of knight and
around.
plague mask,
Yeah.
staring through.
So that counted as my first attack. For my second attack, I'm gonna run up to Caliban and just stab the air in front of him.
Okay, nifty. So you can just spend one of your attacks to do commanding strike.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, you can do that and make an attack at disadvantage.
Do it.
I'm rolling 2 dice. It's a 5.
That is, you swing
it's a 10.
your sword through the air, and connect with nothing.
Okay. Magic, I mutter.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
I love it. Magic.
Now, that is Buckle's turn. Next up is the Veila, Alda, Bertram contingent.
It's like a folk band name.
Yeah, right. Alda, having only gotten as far as you could see, seeing this other person running, is going to momentarily unfurl her wings and fly out of all of your sights, or mostly beyond your sight. And then you are, all of a sudden, going to see a burst of flame.
What happened? I don't get it.
Yeah, who could imagine? Pretty sure, yeah. Oh, mate. Okay.
It's pretty dark that Alda's only 3 years old and she killed a man.
She's a predator.
Yeah, okay. 19 points of fire damage to old mate, who is still standing, still sprinting, as it were.
It's like in these old cartoons where they have their pants on fire.
Let me double check my maths here. That was 19 points of damage.
Or it's like an action film where the dragon's there, and then you can only see the guy, and it's like,
Yeah. So Alda lets loose another fiery breath weapon, and you can hear a scream from down the hallway as this person is still sprinting away, and Alda sort of pulls up at the entrance to the cave. We have the advantage of them. I shall no longer flee. And then she turns back, having spoken really proudly, but sort of is like looking at Bertram and Avery, sort of looking around, being what's up, as though she's expecting to get told off. It is now Bertram and Veila's turn. Bertram, need to check on Bertram, because I did not make a save for Bertram earlier. I better do that.
Bertram's the one that did the spell. Kill Bertram.
You might not need to.
I take that back. I was joking, Adam. I was joking.
Bertram is frozen and cannot take actions.
Avery, what are we gonna do?
The cone of cold hit Bertram full blast.
Is he dead or just frozen?
He has 0 hit points. He is currently a statue of ice, and Podrick is going to be making death saving throws as well. Yeah, in the next go around. But that
Unless
is
someone
what
heals him.
Bertram. That's what Bertram needs to do now. In fact,
Death can have Bertram if they give us back Podrick. That's the deal.
Bertram will make his first death save, which is a fail. So that's where Bertram is. Veila is still unconscious or in her normal state.
useless.
Yeah, fuck Veila. She got us into this mess.
Yeah, she is lying there in the water and does not seem very badly hurt, but was hurt by the
Oh, that's interesting. This human may have a secret.
Yeah, surely.
That's Veila's deal. Okay, so that brings us to Rav, Caliban, and Barwin.
Oh god. I don't even know what to do.
And Bretta too.
Yes, that's true.
And Bretta.
Yeah.
Do I have to go first again?
You
Or
don't
can
have
we-
to. You
Okay.
can work it out between the three of you, four of you,
Yeah, I'll
including
hang
Beasley.
back because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, including Bretta, your pets.
So I'm going to take a shot at this space. I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration for a plus. It's a +8, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct. Well, plus a
Alright.
D8. All right. So you roll your D20.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So do I need to do that at disadvantage as well? How's that work when you've got like a D8? You
Yeah,
just
so
add
you
it onto
just-
whatever.
Whatever the lower D20 is, you add your D8 to that. So
Cool.
that makes
Alright.
sense. You can either do it all at once or separate them if that's easier.
Yeah. Okay. Bear with me.
The D8 is a 3, plus the 7 is a 10. Okay. Plus whatever your modifier is, plus the 7 is a 17.
7. Yeah.
Okay. So you swing your rapier out wildly, Caliban, and you feel it make impact on something. It's not clear where or what, but there is a quick sound of pain as your rapier seems to make light contact. So roll your basic rapier damage. Pretty good. Okay, 12 points of piercing damage. Yes.
Bowen might go next then. That's cool.
Okay.
Bowen's going to cast Guiding Bolt at the 3rd level, which I don't need to see the person for.
Yeah, we had this long ago.
A while ago. Alright. That's a spell attack, I'm pretty sure.
And your guiding bolt is a 1st level spell, is that right?
I'm casting it 3rd level.
Okay. Barwin, you feel the familiar holy magic from your amulet, your holy symbol, and as it glows brightly, it suddenly snuffs out as the magic was uprooted as it started. Guiding bolt does not go off.
Shit.
You know what you need?
No.
I just say, someone's here. And that was me, not Peas Blossom. Someone's here.
It sounds like something an actual parrot would say.
Yeah, but I was mimicking a parrot.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it's very meta. Love it.
If I was alive, I would thorn whip everywhere like it did to Rav.
Okay,
Yeah, that
Barwin,
worked
are
out
you using your bonus action or your movement?
Yeah,
Whatever
I mean,
you
like,
don't like.
I guess I can't even if it would work. My only bonus actions would be spells, and I've cast a spell technically, but it didn't
that's
work. So she's not going to do anything. She's just going to move over to Pudrig. So she's like within 5 feet of him. So between Tristan and Pudrig.
Okay, Barwin can do that. Next up is top of the order, I believe, Avery.
Oh wait, Rav hasn't gone.
Oh yeah, Rav needs to go. What's Rav doing?
Rav sprints forward and just punches the air.
You got a sword.
I'm kidding. So I have a feeling fireball's not gonna work.
It could, but you just need to put the thing away so it doesn't hit us.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, well,
definitely
that's
would
my
actually.
concern. But I don't think fire spells are gonna work on this creature, is my hunch, because it's like a cold.
Last time.
They did?
Well, no, she
She's
cast
just a
fireball
mage,
on us
and-
before.
Wait,
Yeah.
sorry, everyone's talking at once. What?
So,
She cast fireball on us before. It's the same person.
Wait, but why didn't Brenna's spell work?
Because she counterspelled it.
she probably used counter spell.
Oh. What is that?
Yeah,
It's just a
Magic.
reaction spell. It's a
Counterspell
reaction
is a
spell.
reaction spell.
Then use fireball.
So she can't do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't think. Yeah,
Okay.
she's used a reaction.
And you've done it before to her, just presumably if it was the same mage.
Yeah.
no, I haven't. Oh, right.
As in when we were on the boat.
Yeah.
So the thing is, yeah, it's a question of space.
You can do it.
The range,
Pedro, why do you so confidently say that?
What? No, it's fine.
Pedro's cast a lot of fireballs in his time.
Yeah, wait, what's the range area? Oh, so the range is okay, but 20 feet. So is there
It's
a
a
way?
20-foot radius, right?
Yeah, is there a way to situate it where I'm not?
Yep, near the entrance.
Wait, when
Yeah.
did I get next to Caliban?
You said I run forward to punch him, and I moved you, so you don't have to.
Oh, I was joking, but okay. So I want to burn up. I'm gonna cast fireball, but like I don't want to burn Caliban and Buckle. However.
Okay, so if you move a bit to the side, you just need to fire it to a point that is far enough away that it won't burn Caliban and Buckle.
Yeah, 20.
So 20
so,
feet, 5, 10, 15, 20-ish. Is there a particular point you want to aim at?
No, as long as it encompasses like the area where the rapier made contact, I'm happy.
Yeah, so if you maybe like target one of these stalagmites down here at the bottom,
Yeah.
like the base of the, directly below Caliban, that area? Okay.
Yeah.
Caliban, this fire and Buckle, this fire is going to come like right up next to you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm
Toasty.
feeling a bit cold after last time anyway.
If
Oh.
you,
Sorry, go ahead.
what were you about to say?
I was just gonna ask if I can bardically inspire myself, but that would be it's a bonus action, so it would be
Yeah.
after, right?
I don't think that you can bardically inspire yourself, although some bard subclasses may give you a feature that allows you to do that. I have to look at it. But we need to
Would
double
you
check.
need to though for the fire, or is
No,
that
not
I'm
for
gonna
fireball.
bardically inspire
But,
someone.
okay, so this creature is going to need to make a dexterity saving throw. And Alda would as well, except the fire doesn't seem to bother Alda.
Shit, good, because
fire never
think about
bothered her anyway?
I'm pretty sure the fire gives Alda hit points, doesn't it? Like it adds.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Okay. Rav, you send your mote of flame out into the designated spot. It explodes in that familiar of fire. And Alda goes, whee! Feeling it go all over, and it sort of, she like puts her wings out and sort of like takes it, almost like a thermal, and sort of buffets around a bit. When the fire dissipates, there's silence.
Fuck. What
That
do I
is
have-
Rav's turn.
Damn it! I was like, why aren't you asking me to cast D6s?
I do need you to roll your damage anyway, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, roll your damage.
Would it be great if there was like there's silence and then you hear this ouch. Oh,
I
Sure,
feel
she's
like
right.
it's patronizing me.
Okay, 28 points of fire damage. You know that's the caliber of fireball you put forward. You can see no one. It has gotten quiet. You're gonna bardically inspire someone?
Yeah. So who's after me? It's Avery?
Yep. And then Podrick, who's got to make a death save.
Oh, wait. Can I bardically inspire Podrick to help with him living?
They do need to be able to hear you, unfortunately. Which Podrick cannot currently.
Just say it really loud.
You wonder why they put those little caveats in there, and it's like, oh, for this moment. That's probably why they made that choice.
Okay, I'm gonna bardically inspire Avery.
Okay, so Avery, you've got an extra D8 on a D20 roll of your choice in the near future. Okay, it is pushing 11 o'clock. I just want to point that out. I know we've gone over time. Are you all okay to sort of get to the end of initiative whenever that is at this point, having gone this far?
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you so late. Okay. Avery, it is your turn.
All right. Is it possible for me to use my movement to get up close to Caliban where the mage is?
Yeah, if you use your full movement and your bonus action to dash, you can get pretty much wherever you want at this point.
But then I can't attack, right?
You can. You have an action still.
Oh, okay.
You can try.
Then. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay, you want to come up right next to Caliban, you said?
Yeah, I want to be aiming like right at the spot where he previously hit.
Okay. I will say, normally in this circumstance, you would make an attack roll with disadvantage. You do not need to make that roll at this point, Avery. You swing your sword and stab through this space. There does not seem to be anything there to receive, or you get nothing when you roll your attack.
That's impossible.
All right, I'm done then.
Okay. And then Podrick, I need you to make a death save for me, please.
No, is this his second?
How do I do that?
Podrick hasn't made one yet, so you need to roll a d20. If it is 10 or above, it is a success. If it is below that, it is a failure.
Hey!
That is a success. So you can mark one success on your character sheet. You should see if you have 0 hit points, there's a thing that says death saves. And like positives and skulls, you click one of the positives. You make 3 death saves, you are stable. If you fail 3 death saves, you are dead. That's how that works. So that's Podrick's turn. In the distance,
from a distance,
Alda makes a sudden scream of discomfort and surprise. What? How did what? And then begins swiping her claws everywhere around her. And then looking down at her scales on her belly. Why, the villain is nearby. I know it. He has done something to my wound. And then doesn't seem to be able to accomplish anything by swiping around everywhere in the air around herself. You are all at this point no longer threatened. We can pick up next time, I think, from this point. Podrick has made a death save. We will come out of initiative, at which point you can just take actions as you were, as you feel inclined. Everyone who is not an ally of yours or Bretta is dead or gone or not apparently here. In 2 weeks' time, we will pick up here in this cave nearby Halefort. And
surely we go up a level after this.
You've got an unconscious Veila, a frozen Bertram, an unconscious Podrick, a wounded Alda, and a bunch of blood and sores of your own.
Who's got HP above 20
after you all take a long rest, Headless Marys, you're gonna level up to level 8. Which is
assuming we get there.
Yeah.
Which is an exciting level. It is where you get to take an ability score improvement or another feat if you so choose. So few things to think about. Lots of options. We'll talk about those in the coming fortnight. For any of you warriors who have stuck it out with us thus far, let me switch us over.
Good episode.
Thank you so much for that. Combat is long and full of terrors. This has been another installment of Bardic Inspiration, Shakespeare-inspired Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to extend a big shout out to Eric Matthias, who's made the music that you're listening to here today. And as well, before I forget, a big shout out to Dr. Mapso, the creator of this beautiful map that we were using for our combat encounter today. You should check out Dr. Mapso's Patreon and other socials and subscribe if you like what you see. They're really excellent quality maps. I'll put a link to that in the video description, so you should be able to find it. Highly recommend. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to the players for mucking in. And as always, we'll close out the night by saying thanks, and more thanks. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.